Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. Doing a quick check. Looks to me like this is session 15, I believe. So we're making good progress in our campaign here. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get started. So team, you'll likely recall we picked up last week. You guys were in the chapel of Celine's grandparents. You guys had gotten there, stayed overnight in order to catch some sleep, wake up in the morning, and do some short rest to try to recover some of your lost energies through all of the previous events. But you're also on a very tight timeline as you had to try to make your way over to Cerilia, where you knew outside of Cerilia there was this sort of dignitary's cabin that was going to be hosting Michael Moriad, the son of the regent of Moriad. And based on the plan that Tegan had explained to you, she wanted you to head there, try to get an audience with Michael, and essentially explain to him your predicament and see if he would offer to assist in any way. So your team made your way across land, traveling for several hours before you found yourself getting close to this cabin area. Once you did, there was sort of like an entry path off of a main sort of dirt road path. You guys found your way there, started getting closer, and you had Vin, who decided to try to like stealth up to the area to not be seen, to try to get a look at who was there, whether it was Moriad's forces already there or whether it was guild members perhaps there. And when Vin got closer, he was invisible thanks to a spell from Blixel, but he actually set off a alarm as he could hear the sort of bell spell, or bell sound, I should say, when he crossed this particular warded area. When that happened, he sort of backed up a bit, tried to stay outside of sight. Shortly thereafter, a man clad all in black came out with a couple of soldiers and started scouting the area, and essentially said to those soldiers, do a wide sweep of this area. We don't want to let anything get through. And so the soldiers started making their way. Once Vin backed away from his little hiding spot, he saw that same man dressed in black looking towards his direction. His eyes passed over him, did not see him as he was invisible, and kept looking around. Eventually, Vin kind of backed up, spoke with the group a bit, let them know kind of what was happening, said he was going to head back and kind of try to get a better idea of what was going on. And the rest of the team decided to make their way back towards the main path about 45 minutes away. So that occurred. Vin eventually climbed a tree, saw some of the soldiers, noticed their insignia on their tabards that they were wearing over their armor. And this, though he may not have known it immediately, once he grouped up with Celine and mentioned what the symbol was, she was able to identify this as the colors of Moriad. And this let the team know that, or at least suspect, that Moriad's forces were already here. So with that known, the team then approached in full and were pretty quickly greeted by a guard. The invisibility spell had since worn off. That guard then seemed not particularly interested in the group, and as Vin spoke with him, kind of assumed he was just kind of like a groupie that was hoping to get an audience with Michael because he liked him or thought he was cool, hero worship, or it could be many other things. Who knows what people seek lords out for. But once it was pretty clear that was not the case, he essentially said, hey, be brief, summarize what it is that you're actually looking for, and then kind of sent the message down the way. And using a series of like bird calls, that person made his way off to presumably go towards the cabin and kind of fill in everybody there what was occurring. The PC group was allowed to get a bit closer as they kind of made their way along, heard this bird call up and down as there was a pretty intricate series of at least basic communication from a distance. Eventually, the team was allowed to get all the way up to the cabin and actually enter the cabin. And when they did, they saw that same man dressed all in black. He introduced himself as Region, and he explained that he was an advisor to Michael Moriad and that he was going to look over our player characters and kind of get a vibe check on them. Eventually, he did grant an audience with Michael. He explained that Michael was willing to meet with our player characters. He did request that all of the player characters turn over their weapons, armor, and spell focuses. This seemed to be pretty important to him. And obviously he was a spellcaster of sorts based on his appearance and some of the things the team had heard about him. So it seemed to it made a whole lot of sense of why he wanted to make sure nobody in the team had their arcane focuses or other spell focuses. And once all of those were handed over and sort of put on a table, the team was then introduced to Michael Moriad in sort of like an inner sitting area. Michael was a tall man, broad-shouldered, with a pretty thick beard. He had a kind of a deep voice, and he was interested in meeting our player characters. The player characters also noticed that there was another individual who they would later learn is Dean, who is sitting here as well. Michael apologized for meeting both groups at once, but said time was short as he had to get some sleep before he headed into Cerilia, the capital of Cariele, on the following day. The team essentially explained to Michael pretty in depth what they were here for, what their hope was. Michael explained that if the team was trying to get Moriad's support for installing Vin as the ruler of Cariele, there wasn't really much Michael could do. He was pretty sure his father is not going to want to go to war to try to assist Vin in claiming the throne of Cariele. He said he could certainly give some advice. He could discuss, sort of plans, that kind of thing. He also mentioned an invite actually, for the player characters to join him when he went into Carilia the following day. They would be under his protection. They could meet Entir Gladnell, the Lord of Cariele. They could meet some of the other nobles and such in that venue, and perhaps that would allow them to sort of size people up. There was some back and forth here, where Vin asked Michael if he had met Entir before. Michael said he had, and that the impression that Vin previously learned that Entir was a bit kind of a fop, someone who wasn't really all that interested in being a ruler, was more interested in the pretty garments and the celebrations and all of the sort of, partying and the prestige that goes to a ruler of that sort, of a title of that sort, but not the kind of person that had a vested interest in making things better or was going to take strong action one way or the other. There was also some discussion of Vin saying, what about sort of overthrowing the guild and, trying to take out the guild leader, something along those lines. Michael said that, if you even did try to take down the guild, they're obviously quite powerful and embedded in Cariele. They have a lot of resources. And if you were to destroy the guild, you'd actually lose a ton of money in Cariele. So worst case scenario, you should try to just seek new leadership with the guild. But even that, he sort of implied that would be a very, very difficult task for the group to accomplish. During this time, Dean also spoke with our player characters as well as Michael. He explained that he was the leader of a sect of essentially a religion that had a small following in the province of the capital, so same province the team is in right now, which of course is Riverford. He explained that small sect had previously been stronger in power, had more followers, more prestige, more respect of the people, but the guild, having cut down so many of the trees, sort of distracted people. They didn't have as much appreciation for nature and sort of the wild areas of the land, and coin became more what the people worshipped ever since the guild came in and really started making the gold flow. So Dean wanted to try to reclaim some of that past prestige of his sect and more appreciation for nature, stop the guild from just clear cutting all of these different trees and destroying habitats and such, and learning that Vin was the true heir and ruler of Cariele if the laws were truly upheld. He seemed that would be good for him if he could get somebody else in power that would temper the guild's worst instincts. And so this naturally forged a little bit of an alliance so far with Dean and our other player characters. So they grouped together and decided to sleep through the night there as guests of Michael Moriad. And then in the morning, the plan was to head into Carilia. When the team got their good night's rest, it was the first long rest they'd gotten in a while. It was very much recuperating. They woke up feeling quite restored, being protected, able to rest and really let their guard down. When they woke up in the morning, the servants outside were a bit nervous. They seemed to be shepherding our player characters towards another room. They obviously, something was up, but I don't know if our player characters knew what that was. The player characters then made their way to the sitting room where they found Michael and Region behind him. Michael seemed a bit concerned, and he said that Regian had detected an undead presence. And at this point, Serena kind of spoke up and said, "Oh, yeah, that might be me." And then Regian said, "Oh, you're the one that has the vase." And then she realized that it was the vase that the team had previously found in the caverns underneath the logging camp that had contained some kind of a undead presence. And previously the team had shown this vase to Garnica. She had mentioned that, yeah, it felt like it was a kind of a potent artifact based on some of the drawings and the writings on it. There was just a few words in Old Andu, the old language even before Common and Weirian was a thing, and she could barely kind of make those out. And she said to be very, very careful with this object, but the team kept it, even though some of our team members were a little bit hesitant to agree to that. So Regian essentially asked for it, and the group then struck up a little bit of a bargain, with Blixel saying that he would sell it to Regian. Michael seemed a little bit distressed by this, as though doing the right thing would be to just give it to Regian, though he also understood the necessity and ability to pay some coin to secure this. So the offer was made and a deal struck at a fairly reasonable cost, and that was handed over by an attendant of Michael's to our group. And the vase was then handed over to Regian, who seemed like a kid in a candy store when he received this. With that complete, the group made some last-minute preparations of packing and so forth. Blixel continued trying to secure a horse for himself and maybe for the team. Unfortunately, Michael's entourage had no horses to spare, so the team did indeed have to walk alongside the entourage as it made its way to Cariele. So this trip took an hour and a half or approximately that, a little bit slower moving for this large of a group. But once the team made their way all the way into Cariele, they found the largest city that they have seen. All except Celine, who I believe has actually been to Cariele before. The rest of our team members having grown up in the hamlet. This was just a very astounding location to them. So many people, a lot of different diverse folks here, a lot of different buildings, different architecture styles, the smell of different foods. This was just sort of overwhelming for our group. There was a lot of pomp and circumstance to announce Michael's arrival, and he was greeted by several of the local nobles while our player characters waited in the back. Once all of this ceremony was over, Michael then went to the player characters and said essentially he's going to head over to the tournament field. Why don't they follow him? And the group did so. Once there, he explained that there were seats saved for them in the sort of eastern box. He was being hosted in the center box as the guest of honor. So our team made their way over to the eastern box, met an attendant there who they had some odd requests for, and he seemed a little bit flustered as he tried to accommodate those. Then our team got inside, spoke with a couple different nobles. We had some, I will say, interesting little edgy conversations there with the nobles. And then there was some announcement from the center box as Lord Entier Gladnell made his way out to the center and essentially announced the start of the tournament. This is, of course, Vin's uncle. He then reclaimed his seat back in the center box, and the tournament was officially begun as we had two of the riders race against one another, and after two rides, one was indeed dismounted. So our player characters are still in that eastern box and just observing this tournament, and we will see what happens next. So team, that is my recap. Anything else anybody would like to add? Uh-oh, Vin, if you're speaking, I'm not hearing you.
Adam?
I can hear you guys.
That was a me thing. I just had to turn the setting off and back on. Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. So I believe it was Blixel who was speaking to Michael after our big conversation and said, what's up with that Regian guy? And he said that he was his father's basically advisor, and he was a powerful wizard. But then he mentioned something along the lines of he had the ability to do realm magic, which is something new that we haven't heard, but something that may be important to us later on. So maybe that's inspiration worthy.
It sure is. Yes, indeed. Regian is indeed a wizard capable of casting realm magic, which Michael explained as spells so potent they can cover an entire province. Anybody else?
I missed the beginning, but I don't think you mentioned, or maybe I might have missed it. I don't know if you mentioned that he agreed to welcome the refugees from our hamlet.
I did not. Yeah, feel free to add a few extra details about that. That's definitely inspiration worthy.
He is sending word ahead to make sure that they're welcomed and that they're allowed to stay till they are safe. What else are you looking for?
Yeah, I think that's good enough. Like, if you happen to remember the name of the town that he said the players were, the entourage was going to pass through, or yeah, but I think that's sufficient. So yes, your family members who are trekking away from the hamlet would be passing through the town of Vanshin, is what he had mentioned, and he said that he would send word down to Vanshin, where he had some attendants there awaiting word from him, and that they would, assuming that the leader of the entourage was reasonable, would explain to them who they were and try to guide them into Moriad proper. All right, last call, folks. Anybody else?
There was a guy that offered us like a extraordinary hunt or something like that. One of the nobles.
At the joust, yeah. He said something about, do we enjoy game? I think it was what he said.
Oh yeah, gaming of some kind. And there was some, I can't remember exactly who said it, but someone mentioned a werebear, or I forget who it was though. But
It was Michael. He asked us if we knew about any because he was saying that he heard some strange creatures or something like that, but we hadn't heard anything about that. Dang, Blixel with all the memories over there. I forgot all of that until you started mentioning it.
it's I don't know if it might be too vague for inspiration, but yeah, he seemed interested in werebears for some reason, and there was another, like, a quest giver of the nobles.
I was gonna say, I feel like both of yours were only half complete, but because you said 2 half completes, let's count that as one. Yes, go ahead and take inspiration, Blixel.
It's a public education system at work.
So yes, indeed, that was Lord Quentin, who you spoke with in the box here, who mentioned, he said that the group looked a bit more seasoned than the others around and offered them an opportunity. Vin asked if this was some kind of a hunt, and he said yes, but more of a dangerous hunt than what you're used to. And some of the team members were somewhat interested in that. And then the werebear story was indeed Michael asking this question of the group. He said he had heard some tall tales about there being werebears in the mountains in Moriad, and asked if any of the group was familiar with that, had heard any stories or knew anything about it, and nobody was familiar with that, so he chalked that up to indeed tall tales. All right, guys, if there is nothing else, let's go ahead and deal out a card to everyone, and let's get you guys back over to the joust map.
This card, I haven't seen it yet, but this is hilarious.
Yes,
good, hilarious.
That one was actually played in a session already. You should remember that one.
Really? Oh, I must have been almost dead or something. Forgot that one. Oh no, never mind. I remember now. That one saved my life, actually.
Let's hope it's not the death saves one.
No, it's not.
All right, team. So we find ourselves back in the eastern box here as the team is watching the joust out in front of them. There is still some conversation kind of going on about. If there's something in particular anybody wants to do, I know Blixel's trying to listen for any kind of impressions from the nobles here, what their impressions are of Entier. If there's anything specific anybody wants to do, otherwise I will allow the passage of time to go as the tournament continues on.
I want to watch you move the horses back and forth and
Oh, really?
Adam,
puppet show.
Boom.
Brian, he probably does. He still watches Teletubbies on the weekends, so you know.
I'm sure he has an API that does it. Come on, Adam. Come on, make them fight each other.
Unfortunately, not on this one. This is the best as I can give you.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, as the team is sort of watching the tournament, you certainly hear different names called as you're watching these riders. After a pair of riders goes against one another, this could be one charge at each other. It could be up to 3 charges at each other, depending on how each of the riders does. And then there is a victor declared. So of the names that you guys hear as you're watching this occur, you hear the names Sir Shane and Sir Racine are the next 2 combatants. As the name Sir Racine is mentioned, you hear one of the noble ladies nearby you do a tis, 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 and then she turns to the man next to her and says, "Can you believe that anybody in this day would use that name? It is such a cursed name. Who would name their child that?" And you see the man just says, "Oh, quiet down, darling." And you see she just kind of shaking her head still, this sort of mortified look on her face. And the next 2 names you hear racing against one another are Lord Rormad and Lord Dietrich. And you hear a much louder cheer for Lord Dietrich than you do for Lord Rormad. Those 2 go against each other. At the end of this sort of first bout of combatants, you see there's like a breakdown as the next pairs fight off, and this goes on until the last 2 opponents who are actually racing against one another are one known as the Green Knight and another known as Sir Houghton. You'll recall both of these names were individuals mentioned by one of the noble ladies who said that they were probably the 2 best, and it seems as though she was correct in this. And as you watch the Green Knight come out, you can see you presume it's a he because he's covered head to toe in armor, but his armor, it looks to be of like field plate, but it is dyed completely green, like a deep emerald green. Even his lance is green, and the tassel off the lance is green. The barding of his horse is green. Even the horse's hooves look like they've been dyed green. Everything about this guy just screams green. He charges against Sir Houghton. Sir Houghton rides well, but you notice the Green Knight gets a hit on him on the first ride by, and on the second, the Green Knight unseats Sir Houghton and takes a little bit of like a ride around here as you hear the nobles cheering very loudly, and eventually he comes up to the middle box where you notice Entier kind of looking down and celebrating and you know calling his name out as more of the nobles kind of cheer, and then you see Entier actually takes the field and is standing next to the Green Knight, and this is when you realize just how short Entier really is. The Green Knight is very large, perhaps 6'6" or something like that. Entier looks like a child standing next to him. So you see he kind of like holds his hand up, and then almost as though realizing this visual that everybody's probably getting, he quickly makes his way back to the center box where he's at an elevated position looking down at the Green Knight and then continues celebrating his victory here. As this all goes on, you hear a little bit of chatter amongst all this camaraderie from people nearby. As you notice, Michael sort of tap the guard here on the back, and the guard like stands up against the railing to allow Michael to pass. And you see he enters, and you see the noble lords and ladies looking, and you see like, "Oh, my lord, good morning, my lord. It is so good to see you." And you see people all kind of, you know, very, very appreciative of him and like almost fawning over him. Most of them seem to recognize him, though you do see one of the noble women kind of like turns and says, "Who is that again?" But like under her breath. You notice he sees all of you guys and he motions towards the stairs outside of the box as he walks this way.
I'll leave with him.
Yeah.
As I catch up to him, go ahead.
I'll just say Blixel looks very self-important as he goes behind this guy to the other nobles who were dissing us earlier.
Saline seems interested in hanging out here in the bleachers and seeing what's going on, and kind of hangs back a bit.
As I catch up to Michael, I'm going to kind of say, "Whoa, Michael, that was great. Thank you for inviting us."
You see he nods. "It is my pleasure. I'm glad you found it interesting. This is always interesting to see how things are going on here in Cariele, though this pomp and circumstance is a little bit, even for my taste."
I'm going to kind of lean in and like lower my voice a little and say, "Well, how was the lady?"
You see he nods towards the tent, and then he looks and realizes you said something he didn't think you were going to say, but then he kind of walks over this way and enters the tent.
Maybe don't ask him that. He seems touchy.
I guess, yeah, he's
Hey,
leaving us
Vin.
in
Vin,
suspense.
hold up. Yeah, take that foot out of your mouth before you go in there.
I'm just curious.
Damn, this Dean guy is coming in hot. I like it.
And as you enter the tent, Vin, you see he looks at you with a little bit of a smile on his face, and he says, I thought for sure your question was going to be, how is your uncle? I didn't expect you to be worried about my affairs before your own. But the Lady Adrian is a very beautiful woman and comes from a very prominent family, but, well, let us just say I don't think we had very much in common.
Oh, I figured you would fall in line with that, considering that's what you said back at the cabin. And, well, you brought us here on your own volition, and our interest may be a little different, but you've been a great friend to us, Michael, so yes, I'm interested in hearing about how things are going for you. Um, is there something you wanted to talk to us about?
Indeed, there is. This is kind of strange, but I wonder if there's something that you might be able to help me with. You see, my father has many friends around the land. As you can imagine, a person of such prominence, he makes allies in many different places, and people seek his help for many different tasks. Even the lowest amongst the citizens and the beings of this world sometimes reach out to my father for help. And so just so happens I received a note not too long ago, and you see he kind of looks at this small piece of paper, and when I say small, think of like maybe an inch wide by like 2 inches. It like really looks tiny, and he looks towards you once again, Vin, and he says, I can't say I can really make out all of the words here. The writing is frenetic. It's kind of scribbly, but I recognize it nonetheless. Have you ever heard of the rat folk that live in the sewers of Carolinian?
I can't say I have. I mean, this
Sounds
is most of our
disgusting.
first time here.
You notice Michael kind of nods towards you, Blixel, as you say this, and he says, truly, sewers are, of course, not a pleasant place to be, but surprisingly, the rat folk are, well, they may not be classy individuals or have high standards or anything along those lines, but they have been, well, they've actually been allies to my father in the past, gathering information for him and providing him with what he needs to know to perform certain tasks. In turn, occasionally we offer them aid as needed. It is pretty rare that they seek our assistance, but they must have been made aware that I was coming to Carolinian and got this message to me through a courier. Again, quite surprising that they even know anybody on the surface to send the message, but nonetheless, there is this message, and it seems as though they are in a bit of a concern, and they asked for my assistance. As you can probably imagine, I can't just scamper off to the sewers. That would not look well. I've meetings and ceremonies to be at the entire time I'm here in Carolinian. I wonder if this might be something you would be willing to assist me with.
Of course. It sounds like something that may actually help us also, considering we need to make more allies within this city that align with our cause. But considering we will go down into the sewers and you will go and rub elbows, as they say, is there something you could do in return for me? It's not too major, but just see if you could maybe find a person or see if there's a person here somehow. Her name is Orica Gladinil. She's my mother. I've been told she's still alive, but I've not been able to confirm it.
I can certainly ask around if that's what you mean, or is this some kind of is it okay to use her name?
I don't quite know, Michael, to be honest with you, considering you're asking about the ex-heir's wife, but either way, I mean, use your discretion at your own will, but the only thing I need to know is if she's here in the city or if she's alive.
You see he nods. Yes, I can certainly ask around. The individuals in the center box, well, I simply saw Entier, Christier, Lady Adrian. There was a Lord Tannen, and then there was a woman, Lady Nueva. I didn't recognize any of them, I must say. I can certainly ask them and see if they know of this person.
What was Intier's wife's name?
Christier.
You said Lord Tannen, Lady Nueva, Christier,
Ye-
Intier, and what was the other one?
Adrian.
Just Adrian, or was it Lady Adrian?
Lady Adrian.
Sorry, taking notes. Okay, Michael, that sounds great. I appreciate your, straightforwardness in my request. What is it you need from us down in the sewers? I mean, I don't speak for everyone here, but I'm assuming they're all right with assisting you.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't even know myself exactly, but based on what I can make out of this note, Nakzik is beseeching my assistance to take care of a matter of grave concern, he says as he tries to read the note.
They probably ran out of cheese, right?
Have any of you dealt with rat folk before?
No.
I haven't. Serena,
Yes,
where are you? I can't see you.
I'm keeping an eye on Celine.
She's sleeping.
She's all right.
Then she's even more vulnerable. Pickpockets.
And Dean, step over here. I can't see your face. I know you're there, though. I can kind of smell you.
I smell fine.
Either of you heard of rat people or Tavard? Y'all are
Adam,
from
would I,
outside of here.
from my background, would that be a thing?
No, from where you're at, from Urkalad, I can't imagine you've heard of rat folk before there.
But I can tell you in my guild, there's no rat folks running around. Are they good or bad people?
There are
Good.
some of both kinds, to be honest. They're not all good or all bad. As a people, they largely try to stay out of everybody else's issues. They try to avoid attention and not get caught up into the issues of the larger folk. I can tell you what I know of rat folk if that will be of help.
It appears none of us know anything, so I'm sure it will be of help.
Are they people or are they rats?
They are a combination. Let me just explain to you it this way. Rat folk are the size of halflings, though smaller in girth and quicker in their movements. At a glance, you might even mistake one of them for a halfling, if not for their twitching snouts, bony feet, and long pink tails. They tend to be very good at surviving in small areas. They scamper about, they have very strong family ties, and there's usually quite a lot of them.
No, it
So-
sounds. How did that happen? With
Oh.
magic, or did they actually,
That is a question for the philosophizers or the wizards and so forth. Unfortunately, I don't know that answer, my friend.
Sure, there's plenty of fan fiction you can check out on your own time. Do these rat people just help you out here, Michael? Do they just keep tabs on things above?
They keep tabs on things below, believe it or not. They do have what I would say is a pretty vast eyes and ears network. They are able to send word. They have made alliances with generally what I would call the poor of the upper levels of society. Or not society, but the poor folks on the surface, let's say. So they are able to pass word back and forth, meet with some of those individuals, pass word that way. Their information tends to be quite reliable. How exactly they ferret out what is true and what is false, I can't say. But I can tell you my father is fond of them. He wouldn't necessarily wish to spend much time in their company and so forth, but he always treats them with respect and will aid them when needed.
Well then,
And
consider our help. What were you going to say? Sorry.
do they get along with the guilds?
They have their own guild, believe it or not. They're quite fond of making ties with different groups and things like that. Their guild, of course, doesn't have near the prominence of the individual guilds you're referring to. But yes, they have craftsmen among them. They have quite a few different people of skilled trades and things in their ranks. But yes, I can't say they maybe have some connection with the guild that you're familiar with, but I'm sure it's not one of an alliance or anything along those lines.
All right. And is there like a leader that we're going to talk to or something?
Yes, this letter is written by the name, and you see he has to look down once again, Nexic.
Did you know where we should meet them?
Yes, in fact, there is the main area of the sewers of Cariele, and if you head to the market center and you look along the back walls, you will certainly find an entrance to the sewers there. The sewers of Cariele, I haven't been down there myself, but my father has explained this before. He had to hire a group of adventurers one time actually to head down there in the past. So the location should be the same. Head to the market square, look for the wall around Cariele itself, follow that wall, and you will find the entrance to the sewers.
All right. Well, do you mind if we take that note? They may need some way to trust us that you sent us, considering they've never met us or and we've never met your father. You know what I mean?
He nods. Yes, of course, you can have this. Are any of you skilled linguists?
Our linguist has a tummy ache. She's still up in the stands.
I see. Well, I will say that the rat folk do speak Anwirian, but the way they speak it sometimes can be difficult to follow, so just have patience when dealing with them.
All right.
Patience is our specialty.
Then you shall do well.
I'm glad to hear that. Blixel.
I kind of
So
smile at that comment, and then I reach out to shake Michael's hand again. Have fun with your dignitaries and meetings.
And you see he gives you like a little sigh, and he says, I shall try.
After we help these folks, where would you like us to meet you?
I am actually staying at one of the royal apartments here in the capital. If you make your way to the Hog's Head Bar in Cariele, I have a contact there who's staying. Just speak with the bartender of the Hog's Head Bar, and they can get word to me.
There's a bar in my hometown called Hog's Head. That's funny.
I like this plan. The opportunity to help you, Michael, which I trust, and it keeps Vin here on the path for the final goal. Maybe we can learn some things about this town with these rat folk.
Yeah.
All right, as you guys are speaking, you see Serena Dian. You will notice to your east a fairly large entourage approaching. You see a woman in the lead, and there's a dozen men close behind her.
Well, better make way.
You notice as the group gets closer and closer, just off map, you might say, you notice the woman puts her hand up and they come to a halt, and you see she steps forward. As she does, you notice a middle-aged woman who looks pretty heavily muscled. You can see she's wearing very fine attire. Surprisingly, maybe to you the most, Serena, being an expert in weapons, you see the head of a maul poking out from her back, as though the shaft of it is sort of in a sheath of some kind, but the maul head is there for easy access for her to pull out. You also notice on her person, she is wearing a sheath around her belt. You can see that there is a dagger there. The maul also, as far as it has a very distinctive appearance. The head of the maul looks like it has bones embedded in it. So you can see like piercing kind of bones baked into it, essentially, poking out at odd angles. In addition to that, you notice this very lavish looking belt around her waist. It has 3 large bluish crystals seemingly intricately waved into the belt. You notice as she approaches, she turns and looks in your direction for just a moment. Then she sees you are kind of like in her way at this moment, Serena. And you see she steps forward. And as she like kind of gets to you, you see she pauses for just a moment and just looks at you and says, and gets ready to say move. But as you step out of the way, she takes her eyes off you and just continues moving.
Looks like she's sworn to carry your burdens.
Who was that, Michael?
You basically described Lydia from...
You notice Michael looks towards you all and then says, "That was Miele Birion."
Oh, the head honcho, huh?
Serena had done like a little like dance of like trying to get out of her way, but not realizing which direction she was
like
going.
right and left, right and left.
She is the orchestrator of my father's death.
Oh.
She killed the king?
Not out loud, Dean.
I step in and whisper that, obviously. But like
Get in the
I had a
tent,
cat.
Ian.
I had a cat in my lap. I couldn't get to my mouse quick enough. Wait,
were
she
the
killed your
bones on the mall like animal or other?
They looked pretty small, so it was hard to tell. So you could definitely tell they were made of a bone-like material, but think of this almost as like maybe like the digit of an index finger from the knuckle up, and it came to a really fine point. So only like a different varying pieces were actually piercing through the head of them all, but the way it was crafted, it looked very odd. Like it didn't look like someone just put them on there and pounded them in. It's almost like these skeletal finger bones are growing out of them all somehow.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, good question.
What's she doing here, you think? Trying to talk to Intier?
He nods and he says, very likely. Anything that happens around here, she is aware of it and often orchestrates it. So she probably wants to see how things are going, maybe speak with some of the nobles herself.
Well,
Hey,
if
hey,
she's
Michael.
here, we should leave.
Hey, Michael. Can you? I'm gonna lean in on my quarterstaff. Can you go up there and be normal and maybe overhear what she's saying to Intier?
It's possible. I shall rejoin them shortly. Yes, I can let you know if I hear of anything specific. But as a reminder, my loyalty is to Moriad, so I am not here to try to start a conflict. I am not here to try to escalate anything. But if I hear of anything that directly pertains to your individual goals, I will explain to you as best I can.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that this group isn't prone for violence, Michael, so thank you for that.
With that
He
being
looks around
said,
at each of you heavily armed and armored and
with her here and her guards, we should move along. There's no need to, like you said, cause an unnecessary conflict. She went one way, we'll go the other. We'll go check out your sewers, maybe shop around the market a little, see what they have, and then we'll meet your contact at the Hog's Head. Is there a name of this person we should ask for?
Fran. Fran is the bartender of the Hog's Head Bar.
Thank you, Michael. I'll reach out to shake his hand before taking off, and I'll make sure my hood is up over my head.
He shakes your hand in return.
And I'll step in between Tavard and Dian on my way out the tent and make my way. I guess this is back towards the city, right?
So that is towards the guards that just came with Miele. South would be
Okay.
back towards the city.
He's
Sorry,
like,
I was in the tent.
Turns around.
I was in the tent. I didn't know where they were coming. And I'll say, all right. And then I'll start heading this way.
All right. And as you see Michael returning into the box.
Before we go, though, I'd like to ask Michael, just so we know, where that other fighting tournament takes place.
Okay, sure. So you're asking about the underground tournament, and when you ask this question, he says, yes, I know they have them essentially every time they have one of these official ones, it seems. To be honest, I don't know exactly where it would be, but again, Fran is a good contact at the Hag's Head Bar. She is more in touch with the locals here. I'm sure she knows where it is.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, Michael. I'm going to win that thing.
He sort of smiles at you, says, I hope you do, friend.
As Blixel walks up, I kind of pat him on the back and I say, what happens if in the final matchup for the championship you've got to fight? And I turn and look at Serena. Her.
You know, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Well, that you do, buddy. Tavard.
Yeah.
All right, so
we'll
it looks
make our
like...
way to that market, I guess, Adam.
Okay, so you guys re-enter the town proper, finding yourself back in Carolinian as you make your way from the tournament grounds into the city itself. So yeah, you're making your way straight to the market square. The market square, this is pretty common terminology. Most towns, even villages, they might have a village square, a town square. Large towns or large cities might have multiple market squares. But you kind of make your way towards where most of the traffic seems to be flowing, and sure enough, you find yourself in the market square. So think of this as a big, wide open area in the center of the town. There is a large fountain in the middle here, and then there are essentially shops all around here. There are alleys and that kind of thing that push through the market square, but it is essentially the center of commerce for Carolinian itself. So you can see all different sorts of shopkeepers and hawkers and all of this, and several patrons and just people of all different sorts walking by and forth. Based on what Michael said, is once you get here, make your way to the wall of the town. So if you wish to head directly there, you can.
As we're walking up to it, I'll just lean over and catch up with Serena. She's got long legs, so she's always a little bit ahead of me, and I'll say, hey, Serena, those antlers, what do you want to do with them?
Well, initially I wanted to sell them, but now they're kind of growing on me, you know? They're so unique. What do you think?
I was thinking the same. I mean, I'm going to kind of whisper the next part. If one day you hold some kind of position of power, those golden antlers could be some kind of staple piece. Maybe for like a headpiece, like a helmet or something.
That would be sick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We might be able to find someone who can maybe mount them for you on a helmet or something, or like a diadem or you know.
That would be pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying. See? I mean, we don't really
Well,
need the money. I mean, we've been broke all the way up until now, really.
I don't want to spend the money on that just yet, but we could hold on to them. But I'll sell this plate unless one of you has taken a shine to it.
No, sell away. I'm just going to look for something to plug my nose up if we're going into the sewers.
Buddy, I think we all smell bad enough that sewer scent is not going to be a trouble for us.
I'll take my chances. I have a delicate palate, you understand?
Is there any sort of stoneware vendor?
There certainly is.
Sure.
Yeah, you look around, you can find all different kinds of strange shops, common shops as well, but some that are super specialized. In fact, you even see one vendor kind of with a small stall selling pewter statuettes, and it seems like that's all he has.
I'm definitely looking for somebody specializing in like historical antique plateware.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and give me a blind check there, Serena.
I want somebody that can understand the value of what I have here.
Yeah, it doesn't take you all that long. You kind of search around for a little bit, talking to a couple of the different merchants here. And within, say, 10 minutes or so, you can see the merchants all seem to be directing you to this one particular store. It is like a small shop wedged in between two other shops. It is fairly small, but yeah, you can see there's a sign out front of it that says Arthur's Antiques.
All right, let's see what Arthur has to say.
Remember, it's a
What?
heirloom of Rendell.
Right. And I bust in the door and say, I want to talk to Arthur.
You notice this old man with white hair, most of it gone at this point. Most of it's just at his sides. He raises his head suddenly and kind of shakes a bit. He has these spectacles that are on his nose kind of low, and he raises his eyes up over the spectacles to look at you. Yes, I'm Arthur. What can I do for you, dear?
You ever been to Rendale?
It's been quite some time, but yes, I've been there.
Feast your eyes on this puppy. And I whip out the earthenware plate painted with garden imagery.
And you see he looks at it and he says, oh, fine piece. Interesting. Looks quite old. Good quality. Are you looking to sell this?
If you think there's a market for it.
There is, but I must warn you, every treasure hunter that comes in here thinks that they have the piece worth hundreds or thousands of gold, and almost nothing is worth that much, of course. If you're reasonable, I'm sure I can offer you something for it.
Well, you better take a close look, because this wasn't your average plate that you can just pull out of anywhere. I had to go to great lengths to procure this.
And you see he nods, yes, I can see, based on the craftsmanship here, a moment. And you see he pulls out this, like, magnifying glass looking kind of thing and puts it up close to the plate and starts looking at it, looking by, like, the edges, looking for cracks, that sort of thing. It is in almost perfect condition. If it was in perfect condition, of course, it would be worth more. But,
What do you mean almost? Show me the flaw.
Well, if you look here, you can see in the corner there's a bit of weathering. This is chipping. It means that the plate's integrity is kind of loosening. It is a bit brazed here. You see he starts pointing out in these different places and putting the magnifying glass kind of on them. And then you see the heft of it is still pretty solid, but it seems as though some of these, in fact, have parts missing. But, well, as I say, it's in almost perfect condition. The true price for an item of this quality, this nature, is, well, I could offer you 25 gold pieces.
Make it 30.
Go ahead and give me a blind check.
Just such a blunt yard sale approach to it.
All right. He doesn't seem to respond well to your abrasive personality here, Serena.
No.
I'm so sorry.
You guys have to do persuasion stuff.
I'm at 22 gold.
Look, we were just gonna let you go for it. You took control.
I'm afraid 25 is as good as I can do, my dear.
All right, I'll walk out of here for 26.
25. I am terribly sorry, my dear. I know it's only a gold piece, but that is the going price.
We'll take it, Arthur. We'll take it. While we're
It
here,
seems to be in the lady's possession. I would certainly not let a man sell it for her. Is that okay with you, my lady?
Fine.
And then you see he smiles and gives you a wink, Vin. And then he says, here is your coin. And he counts out 25 gold pieces, and he puts it in a pouch for you and takes the earthen plate.
Enjoy the tidy profit you get off that when you sell it.
I hope I sell it soon.
And I turn out the door.
while she walks away, I say, she insisted on selling it. She found it, but just fair warning, I've seen her punch old people before. I wasn't trying to interrupt her. I was just trying to save you.
And you see he kind of looks and then gulps as she's already walked out. Oh, I see. Well, maybe you'll enjoy many of the other shops in town.
We're sorry, sir. And then I'll reach into my bag. This is from an orchard back home. It's delicious. Here, have an apple. Please have a good day. And I'll turn around and walk out as well.
You see him kind of looking at the apple as he nods. Oh, yes, yes. And just, you walk out.
Now, Adam, is this like the type of place that would have like a magic item shop?
If you look around, you think you'll probably be able to find almost anything here. Now, again, super expensive things, maybe not, because while this is a capital city, it is a frontier realm. So the capital city here is small as far as capital cities go. So, but yeah, they certainly would have some magic.
Okay.
Wait a second. You're not talking about selling, are you?
What, Shipwrecker?
You're not in possession of Shipwrecker any
Yeah,
longer.
I don't have it anymore. It was given to me by Garnica, but that's okay. I'm just gonna look for some like small pieces of cloth or something that would make a good nostril blocker, like cotton or something. I don't know, something that Blixel can stick up his nose when they go down the sewer.
Okay, yeah, I would say looking around, you can find that. I think there is a like cotton you can stuff in your ears that makes you have advantage against like sound-based things, but disadvantage on hearing. So I think you could certainly fashion similar, where you could put cotton in your nose. This will give you disadvantage on any scent-based perception, like if scent's the main way you're detecting something, but it would also give you advantage on any kind of scent type related issues, not necessarily inhalation, because obviously you're going to be breathing through your mouth, but so it's a pretty narrow, but then of course it will also block any really foul odors from getting to you.
Yep, that's the whole point. Blixel's doesn't want to smell all the doo-doo.
Sure, yeah, you can find a small amount of cotton for this, let's say 2 copper pieces.
All right.
Get some for Celine too.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get some.
I'd like to go to a I hate when you have a brain fart. I want to get Shipwrecker extended if possible. So I'm looking for somebody that works on weapons but would potentially be familiar with magical weapons.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and give me another blind check here, Serena. Yes, it takes you a while as you're making your way through the town here. I imagine everybody's kind of in tow behind you. Eventually, you notice there is like a street sign here, and it says Rings Passage. It seems to be the name of the street. And you can see this is a pretty busy and noisy area. You notice that a building across from the one that you're actually looking at seems to be emitting some strange red alchemical smoke. But the building that you're looking at is a single-story timber and brick building. You can see there's a reinforced wooden door, and you notice that there is a pair of sundered shields that hang on the sign, and it says the Sphinx's Arsenal.
You guys mind if I pop in here?
Do you want me to come with you to negotiate a price so you don't kill someone?
Oh man, you
Shake my
might be
head
better
behind.
at that.
Yeah, I'll just you can do the talking, but I'll be the money person, even though I don't have any money.
To be honest, Blixel, I think you should probably handle most of our money conversations moving forward.
Yeah, I tend to give money away a lot though, or overspend and stuff. So, but I'll try. I'm gonna be a hard bargainer.
Well, before we go in, I only have 85 gold on my person, so.
I got 40.
Okay, well, we don't need to add to it. Just keep it under that price.
Well, let's talk to him. All right, you lead the way.
So I'm gonna kick open this door.
All right, and you kick open the door, and you notice that there is a tall dwarf behind the counter of this one. You see he barely raises his head, just kind of lazily raises his head. You notice a large, bushy brown beard on this dwarf, and you see he looks up at you. Oi, why you kicking me door?
I stick my head back out the open door and go, Tavern!
What do you want? I don't do shopping.
It's
Come
another
on,
dwarf, I think.
grease the wheels.
It's one of your kin in here, Tavern. Hey man, sorry about the door.
It's fine.
Tavern
I got
to
a
host the
question about
party.
this.
Woohoo!
I got a question about this item here. And I'm gonna go up to him and pull out the shipwrecker.
And you see he has his eyes kind of narrowed. His face is gnarled with age. And you see he looks up at it, kind of cocking his head at the side. Oh, yeah? What you want with it?
Well, I'm wondering if there's a way to extend the part that you hold. I should Google weapons. So I can reach a little further with it, and but it's got a few magical characteristics, and I'm wondering if any sort of alterations like that would affect that part. You know anything about those types of things?
Oh, of course I do. You see, there's like the right way of doing it, and then there's the cheap way. Which way are you looking for?
Well, how much is the right way?
Expensive.
What are we talking here?
Oh, I'd have to take her back and look her over and all, but I would guess several hundreds, maybe 1,000 gold, something like that.
Interesting.
And how would the cheap way hold up?
Oh, that's where we fashion kind of like a long, big stick-like thing to the base and tie her off real good, and it probably last you for a good while.
Would that feel like a polearm? Like if someone was a master of the polearm, would it feel right in their hands?
It would mimic, it would mimic such a weapon.
Excuse me. Is it possible for you to transfer maybe the magic item's properties to another item that would be more suitable for her?
That's possible, but I can't do that. That's like high flute wizarding.
I don't know what that means, falutin. Is that like
Fancy stuff,
prestigious?
boy. Fancy stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like flute music.
And to clarify, is Tavern inside of the shop, or is he still outside?
Oh, I went in when they mentioned there was a dwarf in there.
All right, so as you're in, you notice as he's talking, his eyes kind of look towards you, and he narrows, and he says, "Where are you from?"
Well, howdy, fellow dwarf. I don't remember the my town's name.
As he
Oh my
listens to you speak, you notice he kind of grits his teeth. Ah, you're one of those Mercaladians, aren't ya?
Well, I mean, that's my homeland, but that's not where my heart's from, if you know what I mean.
out! All of you get out! I won't do no business with a Caladian!
This ain't going the way I was hoping.
It's not for him though. It's not for him. It's for her.
And you see he looks towards Tavern because he's like almost like snarl in his face, and he looks at all you. If you're in league with that one, then no, I won't help you at all.
Whoa!
I've never seen this guy before. Get out of here.
What all happened between you and wherever you said he's from?
Oh, and this is where we don't have our history person in the group. Dun, dun, dun. Is anybody else proficient in history? Yeah,
Nope.
Good question then, huh? But as you ask that question to him, Blixel, you notice he just turns and looks. I said get out! Get out now!
All right.
Well, Tavern's gonna say, all right. Well, sir, truly sorry for interrupting your wonderful shop here. I'll leave.
And he says, bah! Bah! And he motions with his hands for you to go.
I do. I leave.
And
Man, they just let anybody in this town, don't they?
You say that as he leaves?
I say that to the shop owner.
Give me a deception check here, Serena. Blind check, of course. And you see he looks up at you. So you really not be with that one?
No, man. And I point to Vin, and I'm like, this is Tavern.
All right.
Do you do? And,
all right. Fine. Just shut up. Fine. Just as long as you're not with that one, that's fine. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, right. The expensive way is too expensive, I think. But the cheap way, well, like I say, I can take some bindings and connect the two sides. And like I say, it'll last a while. But, of course, with time, it's going to come apart. That's just how it is. Bring it back. I'm sure I can fix her up every now and again. But this would be like kind of... I don't know what you would call it. It's not really like a pike once it's extended, but almost like, something else. Like long, but sometimes, they have these lucerne hammers and things. It's kind of like that.
Well, let's do it. Give this thing some reach.
What's your price for that, sir, if you don't mind?
Well, I got to use the heavy corded rope, and I got to make sure that it's knotted down well, and I got to make sure that it's bound, let's say, 10 gold pieces.
you better use extra rope. Deal.
Blixel, you're fired.
All right, yeah, as you say this, you see he kind of gives you this, like, cocked look and closes one eye, and he's like, shaking his head back and forth. But if someone hands over the 10 gold, he kind of drops out of this posture pretty quick. All right, hand it over.
I hand it over.
Wait here, just be a moment. And you see he kind of goes back to this like counter that's behind the main counter, and he lays the shipwrecker down, and you hear him kind of go, oh, nice weapon. And then you see he kind of like takes this long, it almost looks like stock perhaps, like he might fit like an axe head to this kind of polished, ground down piece of wood, high quality. And then he does take this rope and kind of starts tying the edges together. You see he does a few like nails essentially through the rope into the wood. He ties it a couple more times, and then you see he picks it up and he kind of gives it a good balance test and brings it back over and sets it down. All right, this should do it. Just keep in mind, like I said, after time, it's going to come apart. Nothing can be done about it.
In the future, could we use weld like an iron ring onto it to hold it as opposed to using rope?
The problem is, you see, with the magical weapons, anytime you try to do anything that like alters them at all, it's not going to go well because they hold up really well. So this is like it's not altering it; it's just kind of connecting it. If you tried to like forge anything to the bottom of this, it's not going to work. You either need to go that highfalutin magic arcanery stuff, or you kind of got to go with this.
All right. Thanks, Pope. A little overpriced.
Oh, I bet you she served you well.
What did he say?
He said, I bet you she serves you well.
Okay. I just take it and like storm out.
All right, so mechanically, this will now be treated as a reach weapon. None of the other qualities of the weapon itself change, so no change to damage or anything like that. However, as he mentioned, over time, it will get damaged and perhaps break apart, so just keep that in mind.
Sounds good.
Before I turn away and leave, I'm gonna kind of look around the shop. What does it look like he sells here? Is it just a bunch of weaponry?
There's not a bunch of weaponry here. There is some weaponry out front, and then you can see he's got these like finely crafted chests that are behind the counter by him. You also notice kind of strangely, think of like hand crossbows. There's like 4 of them that seem to be mounted on this back counter, and as you look at them, you almost think that they're pointed right at you.
I'm gonna kind of point at him and say, defense system, eh?
And you see he kind of looks back and looks back at you and kind of narrows his eye. You be wanting to buy something?
I was kind of actually looking for a hand crossbow similar in size to that. That's why my eyes went to it. Do you sell anything similar? Or maybe something I can shoot from my current bow? Any kind of extra special arrows you may have concocted?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Yes, yes. But the question is, do you have the money?
I have some change, yes. It depends on the pricing of your objects, of course. But let me ask you first about your arrows. Do you have anything that maybe explodes?
No. That'd be the alchemist shop across the way. Maybe there. I don't deal with such things. They're too chaotic and explodey. No, I deal with constants.
Well, what constants do you have, sir?
Oh, I have got some arrows that's been dipped into the arcane well. They are a little bit more potent and they'll poke a little better.
All right. How many of those do you have, and what do you charge for each one?
I sell them in quarrels of 20, of course. Let's see. I might be able to get you a deal. Go ahead and give me a blind check here, Vin.
I'll throw a hero point on it, because why not? We got some back finally.
Sure.
Nice.
Roll me a 1d2. Just for you, because I like your beard. I'll give this to you for 50 gold.
And the arrows keep the magic on them.
Well, until they explode or something, right? Because you shot them in something too hard.
I'm gonna lean over to Blix. I've only got 30.
Yeah, I probably got you covered, but let me ask you: do you have any silvered short swords?
Yes, of course I do. A silvered short sword. Actually, I've got one of those already made.
How much is that?
That depends. Is it for you?
Yeah, for me. Sometimes I gotta fight these weird creatures, and I need something silver on them.
And you see he kind of narrows his eyes a bit. What do you be fighting that needs silver?
I was just in the woods. There was all these crazy things out there, man. You're lucky that you're here in the city. You don't have to deal with all this weird stuff.
All right. I don't need your full life story. But, you see, silvering is an expensive process. It takes a lot of effort and such. I can sell you one for 110 gold.
Whew. All right, never mind. I can't afford that. Maybe I'll come back at some point, but I don't know. I might find a better deal somewhere else.
Sure you will. Sure you will.
All right. Yeah, I can lend it to you, Ben, if you wanted that stuff.
I don't know if I need 20. Could you sell me 10?
I suppose I could, but then I'm going to have to raise the price a little bit because you're breaking up the set and all. They like to stay together.
Well, right now you're offering me the arrows at roughly 2 gold an arrow or so.
So you want 10? How about 30 gold 10?
How about we do 25? You'll make a little bit of profit from each one.
Give me another blind check.
They'll sit in your shop for a while, you know that.
Fine, fine, fine. 25, Ted.
Alright. Here. Do you,
You see he opens one of these finely crafted chests in the back, and he like uses his body to block your ability to see inside, and then he scurries backward, closes the chest, turns, and you see he's got a quiver. He counts out 10 of them and sets them on the chest, and then he hands you over half a quiver.
perfect. And I'll look at him and I'll say, dipped in the arcane well and they pierce a little better. Does that mean anything to me? Like, do they work against certain types of creatures or animals better or something? Any
Sure,
extra
yeah, they do
details?
that. They do that.
Oh, okay. Well then, thank you. And I'll just take them.
And he nods at you. Is that all?
Yep, that's it. Have a good afternoon. And by the way, that guy, he really was our friend. And he's cool. And you shouldn't hate on him.
And you see he like raises his nostrils. You see steam almost comes out of his ears. What? Ah, you be getting out of here now!
Yeah. Later. And Blix will leave.
Next time you guys go to the shop, there's a 50% increase in price.
It's worth
Scoot
it.
out real quick with Blixel. And as we kind of bust out and shut the door behind us, I look at him and say, man, you've got a good way with words.
I just didn't like that guy. He was really mean. He
Bit of a
he yelled at
jackass.
Tavern for nothing. I don't even know. Tavern never did anything to that guy.
Literally
Yeah,
the
they've
nicest
got
dwarf I've ever
cause.
met.
It ain't me. It's my peoples and their peoples. I get it.
Oh, really? What, like your parents did something to him?
Nah, it'd be just quarrels between dwarfs.
Oh, okay. Still, I don't know.
Yeah, my kin ain't really the nice ones in the around here and all. So I get
Oh,
it, right? I don't blame him for but then again, that doesn't. I mean, just because my kin ain't that is that way doesn't mean I am. So
I see. Oh, okay. I didn't know the whole story. I thought he was just being a dick. I was trying to. I'm sorry we didn't immediately come to your defense, Tavern, because we were trying to get something done for Serena. You know.
oh no, nope, not you guys got to do what you got to do. I don't take it personal. I just wish it was other ways, right? So
Yeah.
but
Well, I'm pretty sure I could tie a knot myself, so we no need to come back to this jerk.
Yeah. Well, give it a try. I mean, 10 gold isn't too much, so it's worth a
Well,
shot.
Too much for a knot.
to talk about what we're about to do, though, I'm assuming that not all rat folk are gonna be good, so we'll probably might have to punch a few or something, but the sewers probably don't have light, and we used most of our torches to keep warm during that storm. Does anybody have any more to spare before we go down there blinded?
I can cast a spell that makes light for us.
I'm not blind.
Well, that works, I suppose.
I still got 10 torches. I thought I used 5 of them, so I'm just gonna say 5 now.
All right.
Oh,
What
I've
about
got
you
10. You guys can have them because I don't need them.
and Dion? Just so we're aware before we go down in here,
Yes.
Serena usually fights up front with Tavard. They're stocky. They're big, strong. They're good on their own, but it's better when we back them up. Blixel can mix between magic and melee. I myself, I like to fight in and out. Quick moves, taking hits. Seems to be my specialty recently, though, which I'll try to avoid moving forward. But could you give us a background into what your capabilities are and how you like to fight, so we know before we go down here and make a fool of ourselves?
I guess that's only fair. We just met you guys. As you can see, I carry a quarterstaff, and will also see a shield, that the wooden shield that he has. Yes, I've been able to mix it up now and then, but mostly depend on the power of nature as much as it'll give me. Harmony, you see, with the land gives me unique magics that you've probably never seen. You ever met a druid before?
I think Blixo fucked one in the cave.
You don't got a
Oh,
pocket bear now, do you, dude?
that's what she was. Interesting.
Huh.
But that's a story for another day, Dion. I'm sure your powers are magnificent. Do you favor ice and cold like she did?
Well, um, fire is the greatest way to bring about change, I've learned by living in the woods. Without fire, nothing can be grown again. Nothing gets reborn. Fire solves most problems.
Hey,
You call my girlfriend a liar?
No, I did not. In fact,
She
I'm lost at the accusation.
she said ice is the way. She loved ice. All right. I got my eye on you.
Seems like I should have mine on you.
hey, I think I've got something that may be of interest to you.
Who me?
Yes, you.
Oh, yeah,
I would say
okay.
Baron, but I had to look on, yeah, roll 20 to realize your name again. But yeah, um, so I'm gonna pull out. You guys may remember that tree that we found. They call the leaves of the fire tree. I actually, even though the leaves seem to have been potentially worthless, I did take the 6 that were down. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you 2 of my leaves of the fire tree, since you just mentioned you're a druid, that you follow this guy, and you mentioned the words fire, right? So not
Uh,
sure if it does anything for you, but for roleplay purposes, you can have a couple leaves.
Thank you, Tavard. I He looks in his pockets and in his pouch, and I I don't have anything in return. You sure?
Oh, I have a feeling that as we get going, you'll be able to return the favor. I don't even know if those are important. They just look, well, pretty, right? So,
So he'll put his quarterstaff rested on his clavicle collarbone, and use both hands to collect what you give him as if they were fine china. And he'll look at him and look at you in the eye and say, "Thank you. I'll be happy to repay you. Oh, there is something here." And he'll reach in his pouch and he'll give you 10 gold pieces for him.
no,
Here's
no,
10 gold pieces. No?
no, I won't accept the gold pieces. He'll say, I'm sure someday I may need some healing. It happens, right? And you look like a healing type.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? How about 30 gold pieces? I don't know what these are worth. And he looks at a
I
handful
think you
Well,
tried
I
to
won't take less than 50 since I was saying
Yeah.
0 a second ago.
of.
I won't take any gold from you.
Okay, thank you. And he'll take them carefully and put them in his pouch, Adam. So what are these things? And I'm a herbalist. I have a kit and a skill, and I don't know if I just put it in my pouch and maybe think about it.
You sure can. Yeah, Tavern described these as leaves from the fire tree, I believe is what he said.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. It was from the tree that was in the cave where we got the enema. So
The orb of the elf father or old father.
yeah,
How many did you give me?
2.
Two.
I tell you what, I'll give you 3, so that way we each have 3. They may
It was
not
a
mean anything, but since the tree was talking to me, Adam, Tavar just wanted to go ahead and keep some of the leaves, like it was, on the
So
ground for him.
Sure, yeah.
so Dian will take the leaf and he'll smell it and maybe put it on his hands and feel the veins and put it in the sunlight, and see, you could see through the veins of the leaf.
Celine said that these leaves of the fire tree or whatever, that was a tree of the old father or Eric.
Oh, do I recognize it, or can I do a check, nature or survival? I'm hoping.
This would be nature, but yeah, you can make a check. They look to be sort of exotic leaves to you, Dean. They don't resemble leaves you're familiar with seeing on the common trees that inhabit this environment.
Oh, thank you. It's very interesting.
All
Like
right.
I said, they could be worthless, but better you than me, kind of thing.
Thank you.
I think we've spent enough coin for one morning. We should probably go down here, investigate. Celine, maybe she'll join us soon. She knows where to find us.
All right.
Let's find this wall he was talking about.
So, Dean was walking around the marketplace and being, comfortable, but just curious of the environments. Just not to, he would want not. He's not going to wander off and look for a shop. But did he have a chance to see an herbalism apothecary or something like that?
I'm
while
sure
we were
he
walking
did in
around?
passing, yeah.
And that was that alchemist shop that was across the street. I know it's different than herbalism, but they may have some supplies for you to use if you ever need it.
So, Dean would be very curious and would have been seen looking in the windows of that shop, of an herbalist shop, as we gathered around.
Well, there's something you want to buy before we go down there.
No, I've just, it's curious. All these herbs and in these pots. Do you mind if I just take a look?
Go for it.
I
You
got
have an
some
extra
gold if you need any.
30 gold.
Maybe I could sell these leaves. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll go and if there's like an herbalism place.
Yeah, there certainly is. Yep. So, yeah, you kind of backtrack a little bit because you had spotted one as you were making your way. And sure enough, yeah, you find this herbalist shop. You can see that there is this very much like a naturey motif about the store. You can see there is some like vines actually growing alongside the store. Looks like they're really maintained to only grow into like I won't say perfect like art, but it is kind of like stretching over where the sign is and all that hanging down a little bit. You get the impression they're pretty well trimmed.
Excellent. I will gently open the door and walk in.
All right, and you notice that there is this youngish woman, maybe in her 20s or so, and you see she turns and looks at you, and her eyes are this bright, actual like amber color, and you see she sees you, and her skin is very absent of any kind of signs of aging whatsoever. So you assume that she is young, but then once you get a better look at her, you realize you're not sure if she is young or she just appears young. There's something about the way she handles herself, or maybe it's the eyes that seem to hold like a wisdom of some sort. But you see, as she sees you approach, she says, "Welcome to my store. What is it that I may offer you today?"
Well, that's just it. It's my first time in this city, and this place naturally draws me here. Do you mind if I look around? Is there any particular things that you are most proud of?
"Oh, I am most proud of all of my creations, for each one of them comes from the land."
Oh, blessings of Eric upon you. He does give us everything we need.
And you see she smiles as you say this, and she says, "Yes, indeed he does, and his grace is bountiful."
Can
And his grace
I
cost 25 gold pieces.
can I start speaking in my druid craft a little bit? A little bit of hand motions in this conversation, Adam?
So you're speaking in the druidic language?
Well, I've always thought of like thieves' cant as like, hey, do you think it's hot over there? And kind of that means in criminal talk, like there's cops over there. That's what I just thought that thieves' cant was. Is that druidcraft kind of too? As we kind of talk in little sayings?
I mean, not so much. It is truly a different language. So think of this as like speaking old ancient words in a way that nobody has probably heard outside of druidic circles in a very long time. Druids basically only speak this to one another, and it's in an effort to basically say, like, yes, we are both druids of a circle, and we have been granted knowledge of this language based on our training. It's kind of a way of identifying one another, and it's think of this as like a sign of respect or honor to speak it to a druid.
Right. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb because of the niceties we've been having, and I'll say something. Yeah, the land is suffering and recovering slowly in sort of druidcraft.
And you notice as you say this, she kind of looks a little bit and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I didn't catch that."
Oh, all I was saying is that it must be hard to find these wonderful herbs with all of the over what do you call that? Over deforestation in the area.
She nods. "Oh, yes, some of them are becoming nearly impossible to find."
How do you find such wonderful things? Do you have to travel far?
Sadly, many of these things are brought to me by others these days, for if I had to rely only on my own time and skill, I would not have nearly the stocks that I have.
Ah, that's good. Speaking of, do you have any basic herbalism kit supplies? Is that like I'll just buy a basic pack for like 99 cents?
And by this, you mean just another herbalism kit, or what are we saying?
Well, I guess the herbalism kit comes with stuff, but I don't know what I can do with it. I know I can make stuff, and I know you can make healing potions. Can I? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll ask for ingredients for a healing potion.
Okay. She nods and she says, "Oh, if perhaps you are new to this, the healing potion or potion of healing is one of the first recipes that we learn, and when we learn this craft, oh, you already have the kit. Yes, I can show you how this is done if you like."
Excellent. I would very much.
Okay, so she like jots down some different notes and things, and you realize all the ingredients that she has written down here are fairly common, but not necessarily easy to obtain always. Obviously, if you're out in the woods and you're basically, say, moving at a slow pace, you could collect some of these ingredients as you do so. Otherwise, you would have to bring these ingredients yourself. And she mentioned some other components basically that you would need. So think of this as being some herbs and then some sort of like alchemical compounds and things. So mechanically, you would be able to create a potion of healing at half price with a successful check with enough of these ingredients. So if you spend, say, 4 hours searching for ingredients and you're able to find them, then you would have enough to make a potion of healing.
Oh, great. Thank you. And is there anything I could buy? Like, she's not selling potions, she's selling herbs and stuff. So what can she sell me?
You see that there's all these different kind of plants and vases all over the shop, and you see she motions with her hand and she says, "Oh, I have so many different things. What is it that you are interested in? I have acid dew, angel's trumpet, black cup mushrooms. I've got some bloodroot. I have fire peas. I have a couple of dream lilies. And I have a bit of moonstalker."
To be honest, and he starts to smile at her. I don't know what any of that means.
"Oh, well, that is okay. Everyone has to start somewhere. Is there a particular type of ointment or potion or solution that you are trying to craft?"
No, that's nothing comes to mind. I mostly just make tea. I'm with some new friends. They're outside. I don't know. Sometimes they get in scuffles, get in fights and stuff, and well, I don't. I don't know. Actually, Adam, I guess I don't have an idea. I thought I'd just come in and window shop.
Sure. So yeah, basically what I'll say is in summary is you see, yeah, she's got a bunch of different things. She will also let you know that she sells recipes, which basically would give you an idea of some of the things that can be done here with these recipes. She explains that her recipes have a couple of different uses. She mentions creating certain solutions. She mentions creating certain potions. She mentions creating something that she calls interdictions with context. You're pretty sure she's talking about poison. And she says that the creation of all of these different things depends on each one of them. Basically, you can think of as some of the recipes are easy, so a basic person could probably do them, but she says they go up really high in difficulty. So basically, if there's something in particular you're interested in, let her know and she will see what she has for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not in as pressing need as I should be to come here, but it was nice meeting you. And how much do I owe you for the potion of healing recipe?
Oh, that one's on the house. I have a feeling you will be back to buy much more.
Oh, I will. Can I leave you one of these gold coins?
If you wish, I will certainly take it, yes.
Of course. Well, your shop is lovely. Oh, and he starts to walk away. So, who are these people that you get the shipments from?
Oh, some of them are people such as yourself. They spend time out in the wilderness and they collect things when they find them. Every now and again, they come upon something truly worthwhile. They bring it in to me and I purchase them. Sometimes I purchase them one at a time. Others come in bulk, even sometimes a whole wagon load.
Interesting. Does this group have a name? I don't think I've run into them.
Oh, it's not just one group. You see, anybody who is skilled with herbalism and has learned how to culture the plants and curate them and remove just enough to be able to use but not destroy the plant. Well, once they learn this skill, some of them have good names like white wizards. Some of them are simple travelers. Some of them are even called witches. But whatever they're called, they have the skill to be able to harvest the plants and then they bring them to me.
Well, now that you mention it, and I'll pull out the 3 fire leaves. Ever seen these before?
And you see she looks at them and you see she has this smile on her face and the smile kind of fades. I must say, I don't think I have ever seen these. What are these?
That's the thing. I don't know. I've never seen these before. I got them and they looked nice, and so I kept it on my person. You seem like a nice lady who might help identify them for me.
To be honest, I know most of the plants in this area, and I can't say that I've ever seen something like this. It kind of has the same coloration as a flame lily, but not the same composure. No. The flame lily is a flower. This looks almost like a leaf. I don't know. If you wish to leave it with me, I can consult some of the books that I have and speak with some of the others that deliver ingredients to me. Maybe one of them knows what it is.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, you and I are on the same page. Here you go, love. I'll put 3 leaves down. Take your time, and I'll pat the table. I'll be back. I'm not sure when, but no hurry. It's
And you
really
see
nice
she
meeting you.
like opens this small journal and she looks up and she says, "Oh, and I'm terribly sorry. I don't think I asked your name."
Yes, I'm the Cathabad Dean.
Cathabad Dia. Okay. And you see she writes this down really quick. Excellent. Well, the next time that you come in, I will let you know if any of them have come by.
Great. And tip is give a little nod and head outside.
What'd you buy in there?
I got this, and I'll show a piece of parchment. This will help with developing my herbalism skills. She's a nice lady. Oh, I didn't even get her name. Oh well.
Oh, okay.
I'm new at this city stuff.
Yeah, this is a big place.
Somebody
All
bumps
right.
into me, I'm like, oh
Better check your pockets after they do that.
god. Okay.
And for reference, Deanne, as you look at this, like I said, most of these ingredients look pretty basic. The primary ingredient for the potion of healing seems to be something known as a red amantia mushroom.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Did she sell that stuff there?
She did.
She had all kinds of things there, yeah. Oh, I see what you're thinking. I should go buy some.
Only if you have the funds for it. Healing potions are nice, though.
Man, I'll go back in, Adam, real quick, kind of awkwardly. Oh, sorry. I just finally read this paper. Yeah, can I buy some red Amantia mushrooms, please?
Sure you can. So in purchasing these, think of this as, to make it simple, if you say I want 4, that means you're buying 4 amounts to make 4 potions of healing. So how many amounts are you looking for?
I'm gonna look for 4, just as you mentioned it.
All right, fair enough. And you see, she says she will sell this to you. So each one of them, she would charge 10 gold. So she would want 40 gold for 4 of these.
Oh, and he'll empty his coin purse out and slatters over, and he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, how about 2?
And she nods, and you see she goes up to this jar, and you can see it is up next against this large, wide, like brown cauldron that looks like it's full of dirt. But you see she kind of like scoops some of the surface dirt off, and you notice some red peeking out under there, and she slowly clips off 2 red mushroom caps and then puts them in a small jar, seals it up, and hands it over to you.
Thank you, and I'll slide over 20 gold pieces.
She takes the gold with a smile. Thank you.
And
Thank you. Come back again.
I'm so distracted at the city. Well, what was your name again?
Oh, I am Arona.
Arona. Nice meeting you. Have a great day.
She smiles as you walk out. Goodbye.
Okay, all set.
Nice. So you can make healing potions, huh? That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm gonna try. Maybe not now.
All right. You guys ready to go into the sewers?
Let's go harvest some rats.
No, we're supposed to be friends with them. We're helping them. Don't go in there thinking we're killing all these rats, Serena.
You're telling the murder hobo not to kill rat. Yeah, okay.
I thought we were killing some rats.
We don't know what they haven't told us what we're gonna do, but we're going into it initially being friends with them. All right.
Yes, we're here to meet Nagzik, the leader or something another, and show them this letter saying they need help or something, and then perhaps we get to kill some bad rats, some evil rat folk, Serena, but we don't know for sure.
Hopefully. What?
All right. I already got a bad feeling about this one, guys. But
We
let's
haven't been
hit
hunting
it.
in a long time.
Oh man. All right. Well,
These could be very good allies. Let's keep that in mind. A spy
right.
network under the capital city.
And the last fight I got in was, me running around getting hit by darts from every which way. So yeah, I could look forward to getting in a good scrum, but we're not there for that.
when I built this character, I was looking at darts. They're 1d4.
Dude, I
I
got
can't
peppered,
believe.
bro. I got peppered. I took like 12 of them.
Death
I
by
got
dart.
All right, I'm ready.
Hey, do we need to get a long rest before we do this?
We did. We got a long rest back at Michael's
Yeah.
cabin.
Okay, I just
So we're
forgot to update my stuff. Thanks.
yeah.
Thought
So
we
we're
did, but I
fully
forgot. Yeah.
we're
Well,
fully prepped going in here, except for
I
spent one hero.
and I spent one bardic inspiration on Michael when he was going to meet his hookup.
All right, Adam. We'll go towards that entrance to the sewers that we were told about.
All right, so you follow the wall that Michael explained to you. You follow it one direction, realize he didn't tell you exactly which way to go, but you walk like 5 minutes that way. You see no entrance to a sewers. You're like, oh, this can't be it. It must have been the other way. So you loop back past a lot of these same shops, go the other way, travel for about 2 minutes, and sure enough, then you can see that there is an area. Think of this as like against the wall. There's actually like a narrow, watery entrance going that way, and then you can see that there is a door next to it. It doesn't seem to be guarded or anything. You get the impression that the town generally doesn't have to worry about people trying to get into the sewers.
Blixel fills his nostrils with the cotton and hands the other two to Celine.
I'm just gonna turn and look around and make sure that we don't have any like eyes from like guards or anything on us.
Give me a blind check as you do a quick check around yourself to see if anybody's watching. Again, there are so many people around. I mean, certainly people are noticing you here and there, but nobody is just like waiting. Everybody seems to be in motion going someplace.
Nice. So it's not like I can see that we've got eyes on us specifically. Somebody's specifically watching us, right?
Correct.
All right. I'll go ahead and start directing us in. Let's go. Looks clear.
Yeah, Blixel like shrugs at a passing commoner. It's like, it's a living, and then starts going down to the sewer.
All right, so as you enter this door, you notice it's like a small room area, and then you can see there is a ladder in the back that seems to go down. You can hear the sound of like dripping water and that sort of stuff all around you, and you start to notice the scent. All of you, I would say, except Blixel, as his nose have since been covered, but you can start to notice the scent of the sewers pretty strongly here.
Is it dark, or is there maybe braziers or anything?
Well, right now where you're at, you've just opened the door. You're in this first room. It is not dark, but as you look down the ladder, which is where you assume you're going to have to go, it does seem to be dark, yes.
I guess as I'm looking down and seeing that, I look over and I see Blixel throws these lights up into the air. Oh, you weren't kidding.
Oh, yeah.
I'm first.
And Blixel will have the lights just sort of follow with the main group, I guess, and if Serena wants to go into the dark, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. Scope it out.
You see Dian's looking, it's dark, and he'll snap his fingers and a flame will appear at the top of on top of his hand, is kind of hovering there. I'm going to produce whoops, I got to cast that to make the light there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you climb this ladder down, Serena, as you're taking the lead. The little bit of dancing lights sort of following ahead. As you get down, you notice that there...
No, following behind.
I'm sorry, you're following behind?
No, the lights are going to go behind me because I can see in the dark, so that way I can kind of like scope it out before my presence is known.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're communicating with Blixel and letting him know to keep the lights behind you. You climb this ladder down. You notice that there is another, like a landing, and then you can see that there's actually a set of stairs that goes off to the east now, but still down. As you look down that set of stairs, you see it goes down like 10 feet. There seems to be another landing, another set of stairs that goes down even further, and the stench of the sewers is now very strong here.
Is it clear, Serena?
Yep, but it's got an odor.
I look at Blixel and say, how many of those cotton swabs did you get?
Just some for me and some for Celine. I'm sorry.
And
I don't smell anything.
I'll flip around and start descending the ladder next.
Good. Yeah, I follow suit.
Yep, I go down.
Okay, I was trying to see if we have a light effect that is the same as produce flame, because I think produce flame is 10-10.
Yeah, it's 10-10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so unfortunately, I think that's going to be a manual one, because I don't think that's in my macro. So 1 second.
I broke D&D with their own spell from the PHP.
More like broke roll 20. So I guess nobody does produce flame. Okay, so most of you have dark vision. I've got Dean on with produce flame in his hand. Now again, remember, if you throw that, the light goes out. So I'm hoping you won't make it too hard on me where I have to keep taking it off, putting it back on, and so on. So yeah, anybody else doing anything specific for light? I heard dancing lights.
To fix it, Adam, you can just give me the goggles of night vision. That'd be great.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they might just show up in the sewer somewhere.
Yeah, and like dancing lights obviously is like, complicates things with there being 4 of them, but and they only give up dim light.
It's torches. Torchlight, right?
No, they're the size of torches, but they only give up 10 feet of 10-foot radius of dim light each.
Okay. So we've got 4 10-feet dim light spells and then 1 that does 10 bright, 10 dim. I think we should be fine, Adam. I mean, the other people can see.
I'm just trying to make this official. Let's see.
And yeah, my plan is sort of just to have the dim light like as a square, 4 points of a square of the lights that will just move with the group, the main group, and not Cerilia.
Does anyone have a piece of chalk or anything in case Celine comes to follow us down? We can leave arrows for her.
I mean, is she out, or is she coming down with us?
She will not be in attendance this session.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just going to be late, so never mind.
I think that was up in the air, and then I got a message from the player saying they would not be here today.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. Well, disregard that, and I'll look at Serena and Tavern and say, well, you guys lead the way. We'll follow behind, and remember, we're not here to fight any of these rack folk, so let's not pick any useless fights.
Can you say that again? She may not have heard you.
I heard you.
All right, and again, I just want to make sure we're doing this fair, so I'm going to put the 4 dancing lights on. I'm going to give you control of them, Blixel, so you can move them as you wish. Now, keep in mind, this is concentration and only lasts a minute. So if we get to a point where we're rolling initiative, I'm going to ask you to roll a d10, and that's how many rounds of dancing lights is still up, right? So that we don't have to try to track it each time. And then, obviously, you're concentrating. If you use your concentration, the lights go away. But hopefully we can do this pretty well without it being too crazy. And just keep in mind the limitations. You can move the lights with a bonus action. A light must be within 20 feet of another light. And it winks out if it goes beyond that. All that fun stuff.
Okay. Yep.
All right. With that in mind, is there any last-minute preparations before you guys descend into the sewer?
I just want to clarify with you, Adam, that Serena gave me the torches that she had. So I do have those in my pack, and I've got the macro if I need to use it.
Okay, fair enough. So you got, so I guess I should clarify. That works. Is there anything else last-minute preparation?
I'm holding Shipwrecker as I move through.
Okay. All right, so you guys descend down into the sewers proper. You go down to the landing as it was described to Serena. You then climb down the first set of stairs and find yourself in what you assume to be considered the sewer proper. You notice the second set of stairs is just to your east.
Just to clarify, Vin is walking with his bow at this point.
All right, so I wanted to give you this idea just to see what you can see here for the moment. We are like 3 minutes away from break, so rather than have you guys just start to do this and then suddenly take a break, I think here's a good point to take a break. But Blixel, if you can just confirm that you can move one of those lights just to your east for me. There we go. Good deal. All right, so that is how you will do them. There's actually 4 there, so if you break them up, you'll see 4 different tokens. But yeah, we will pick that up on the other side of the break, folks. Let's go ahead and take 15.
See y'all in a bit.
All right. Dungeon delving the sewers.
Dun dun dun.
Alrighty, folks, we are back to the second half of our session. Let's get everybody back to the sewers. Okay, Blixel. Oh, Serena, yes, you step out front. As you do so, you notice you're standing in this rock tiled kind of flooring. The walls are made of a similar stone kind of material. You notice a very large vat of sewer water just to your north. It's hard to tell the depth because the water is green, murky, and has a god-awful stench. You also hear the sound of some skittering nearby.
We have located the sewers.
Yeah, I'd say we're here. Ugh.
And what was the name of the person we're supposed to be meeting?
His name is Noxic.
Sounds like toxic. Okay, I'll remember that down here.
What can I see?
Serena, yes, as you're standing there, you notice above you, as the pathway against the east wall here is at an elevation of about 10 feet higher than you. You notice in very exaggerated fashion, this rat-like humanoid turns around this column there and looks towards you and goes, "Ah!"
Can you say that again? I feel like
Yeah.
it's loud a little.
Essentially, he shouts at you in a high-pitched voice and kind of starts scurrying away.
Wait, stop.
We were
Come in
sent by
peace.
Michael.
Morid.
You see a tentative moving back of the creature, and he gets back to where he was before, and you see he looks down straight down the top of you now and looks, he says, "Nah, not Michael, not Michael."
He's busy, so he sent us to solve your problem. We have the note you sent.
We're looking for Nexig.
Sent you?
Sent us.
Yes.
Yes.
We friends. We're gonna be friends with you.
Here
He
to help.
has a staff in hand, and you see he taps himself. Nexic!
I'm
Yes,
going
please.
to step forward and pull out that little piece of parchment that Michael gave me, and I was like, Blixel, will you send one of your lights with me? And I'm gonna carefully try to hand it to him so he can see that, I can't see in front of me, Blixel. You'll have to put it ahead.
Uh-oh, Serena, you somehow moved through the wall. I'm going to move you over just a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to get out of the way so he can get over there.
I don't know how far away he is because I can't see. I'm just gonna reach into my bag and light a torch. And here's his note. He sent us to help.
And you see he kind of shies back as the light is getting closer to him, and he's holding one hand to block his eyes as he looks down at you. Now remember, he's 10 feet above you, and you see he kneels down a bit and reaches over. You'll have to kind of hop up to try to give it to him.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do a little two-step wall run and slap it into his hand.
And he takes it from you real quick, and you see he puts it to his nose, and then you see he looks and he kind of puts it up to his eye, and you see him moving it back and forth to get the impression of someone that's not sure if they're farsighted or nearsighted. And he looks back, not Michael.
Michael busy. Sent us instead.
Sent you, and he points with a clawed hand. You help?
I'll give him a thumbs up. We help.
He taps himself again. Nixic, little Nixic, Skikdock.
Is that your last name?
Oh, no. Young. Yeah, young. Skikdak?
You're young?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you Nitsik's son or something?
He taps himself. Nexic.
Are
Young.
you Nitzik?
Yeah.
What do you need help with? Is something hurting you?
Skikdak. Go. No find. Need find. Skikdak.
Okay. Skittok is lost. Yes? What's he look like?
Little Nexic.
Okay. Where'd you last see him?
And you see he points over to the northwest. Climb what wall? Slap, and then, yeah, you know.
I kind of look back at everyone. Yeah, we do actually.
And he nods. And he just points to the northwest.
Okay. You stay here while we find him. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. I'll turn around and say, well, based on my deductive reasoning of that, it looks like this little guy's Skittok needs to get rescued, and maybe something grabbed him.
You hear him calling out now, and he shouts in that same kind of voice, but it's very squeaky. Come, Michael, Fred's not Michael. Come through. No, not Michael, Fred. No hurt. And you hear chittering responses.
Yes. Let everyone know that we're friends, please.
So be on your guard up ahead, and I'll point towards the area where he showed, or he pointed to where he came from. He said climbing over that wall or something over there.
And Serena, as you kind of turn this way, and you see him up there, he looks down at you, and he points to the northwest. All right, as you get to there, you notice another one of the rat folk. He's like really leaning down in this passageway, really low, and he's looking at you. You can just see these two red, beady eyes looking at you.
Blixel
Found him.
waves.
You said Blixel waves. Who's he waving at?
Oh, do I not? Oh, I don't see the rat man. I'll wave at the rat man if I see him.
Yeah, I think you had line of sight him at that moment that you said that. So yeah, he doesn't really pay attention to you. He's looking at Serena.
What's this crossing here?
So that is actually a floodgate, and it looks like that could be lowered or raised to change the amount of water that can get through. It is also used, you'll notice that if it's all the way down, it kind of traps solid material and prevents it from getting into the large pool. At least it tries to anyway.
Just because this may be pertinent and up ahead in some way, but Dion's good berries that he gave out, they're still usable, correct? It's been within 24 hours.
They should be.
Okay, cool.
All right, just FYI, tavern where you just stepped, think of that as going down into the sewer water.
Yeah, that's not what I was trying to do. I thought that.
No, Tavad, you don't want to go down there. There's another one over there. These must be their guards. Skitok sounds like he's a younger rat folk.
I get the impression maybe it's his son or something like that.
He pointed to the northwest, right? When we asked him that?
He did.
So yeah, we gotta go over there, right?
Oh,
Is this jumpable from one side to the other?
It's 10 feet wide, so if you get a running jump and you have a strength of at least 10, it should be a fairly easy jump.
I'm just gonna do that.
Doesn't it
Okay.
just circle around? Go north. One more step. Or is that a wall there?
yeah, I'm gonna just move right here, and then I guess I need one more back, and then take my run at him, and then make my leap.
All right, like I said, as long as you have a strength of 10 at least. If you have less than 10, that will still require a check.
I got 11. We're good. It's not my strong suit, but it's enough to make that jump.
I'm just gonna do the jump, Adam.
Meaning you have a strength of 10.
Nope, a standing jump.
Okay, go ahead and throw me
Would that-
an
would that
athletics
be-
check.
What's on the jump though? Like, is it? I always forget the jump mechanics.
So if you get a running jump, you can basically jump your strength score in feet. If you don't get a running jump, if you're just doing a standing jump, then you can, I think, only do half that.
Mm-hmm. It's half.
Oh, okay, cool. Running jump. Here we go.
All right, and remind me what your strength is, Dean?
18.
Okay, then yeah, you can jump across, no problem.
He was just trying to show off.
Gotcha, okay.
I was trying to learn the mechanics of jumping.
It's your strength score in feet.
And same for, I'm going to move you down, Vin, just a moment. Yeah, so if you go there, just remember, that's in the sewer water.
Oh, okay. I can't see. Sorry. I thought that
There.
was a platform. My bad.
I'm jumping across. I have over a 10.
All right, you get the running jump, you can do the same.
It's like hitting. I gotta move these guys.
All right, and I will also mention, as you guys are doing this, you're noticing that obviously this is a very humid environment down in the sewer. There seems to be like a slickness to the walkways, to the wall, all of that sort of thing. As you jump and kind of land here, it is a little bit slippery, not enough to knock you off in a non-critical moment.
So what do you think? Grab the kid.
Well, there's no telling what could be down here.
All right,
We had
Tabard, when you
Zaleen, I'm
get to
sure she'd have an
here,
idea.
you will notice that there is another one of these raisable and lowerable deals, but there is also a bridge here that seems to connect one side of the sewer to the other. This is actually a arch bridge. So basically you would climb up it, and as you do, you're raising an elevation, and then it kind of flattens out, and then it goes back down. So think of it almost as like a inverted U.
All right, I'd actually like to do a survival check, see if I can see any tracks or anything that may be unusual.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check.
Assist with that?
Are you both proficient in that?
I am.
I
Then
am.
yes. All right, Dean, are you casting that on yourself?
Yes.
Okay, Dean, you now have dark vision for 8 hours, I think it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that I see we're on some type of mission, I'll pop my dark vision.
So as you look in this area, both you and Serena, you notice that there seems to be signs of movement around this area. So think of this as like little prints in like the gunk and the muck that actually makes up this area. And there's some here, but here is shockingly absent of any of that.
All right, I'm going to look around to see if I can find like a hidden doorway or any other passageway that we may not see.
Okay, yep. Go ahead and give me another blind check for investigation. No, you don't find anything like that, Tavard.
Could be they don't come up this way much, maybe.
Serena, as you step to there, this is what you see. A pit
Oof.
opens as you potentially fall into the pit. As you do so, you hear the sound of these spears protruding from each side. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please, Serena.
I was just gonna say searching for traps or something right before she stepped.
Is this
And
something
Adam, that is
that
pretty cool that that's visual like that. I would
Wait a
give you
second.
inspiration if
I
you weren't the enemy.
have a thing for this.
Danger sense,
Okay.
perhaps?
Or maybe I'm thinking of a
Mhm.
different character. No, I do have
No.
danger.
Yeah.
Think you get advantage on this? Oh, okay. So effects that you can see. So,
Such as traps.
yeah, but unfortunately, you can't see this one, right? So you stepped there, you didn't see it, you begun to fall. So, like for example, if an arrow shot out of the wall or something like that, you'd be able to see that. Or if it was like a statue breathing fire, that kind of thing. But because you didn't know there was a trap here and you stepped here, you can't see anything. I would say that would not apply in this situation. So what that means,
But,
unfortunately,
like,
Serena. Yeah, go ahead.
But I that because
Whoop, you're kind of breaking up there.
sorry. That's might not be. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So if you wouldn't be doing the saving throw if you identified ahead of time and anticipated the trap. So I'm kind of struggling with like what would be an instance where you would use this.
So let's say, for example, there was a tripwire and you hit the tripwire, and because you hit that tripwire, a scythe came down from the air and swung at you. You see the scythe, this would apply. Or let's say an arrow flies off from the wall towards you and you see the arrow, this would apply. Or let's say a statue breathes fire on you and you see the statue, this would apply. But a hidden, concealed pit that you can't see, this would not apply because it specifically says you have to be able to see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just feel like okay. I'm just like gonna don't know that it's a trap until you know it's a trap, I guess. That's what I'm like struggling with, like at what point you would identify that it's a trap. But okay.
Okay, so
Sounds good.
as you fall into this pit and then each of these spears on each of the sides stab into you, you are going to take 23 points of piercing damage as each of these stab into you from all of the different sides, and then you see they retract suddenly, and the little holes in this wall, now that you're down below, look very flush with the wall.
I'm gonna try to climb out. How deep is it?
It is only 10 feet deep, so yeah, it looks like you can pretty much just lift your hands up, jump a little bit, and you should be able to get out pretty easily.
In case it attacks again.
Yeah, you're not sure exactly what triggered it. You obviously know you stepped on it, and then that's when the floor gave away to you. So yes, it might be that, or it might be something else to it, though.
Wait, so I should move over one, right? Because you're saying the pit was right underneath me?
If you're climbing out, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you climb out, I'm going to just play this animation and then freeze it when the pit's open, so you guys know that's now opened.
Okay, Serena. Damn.
A little beat up.
Is she okay?
And sorry, guys, just to clarify, can you see the open pit on your screen?
Oh yeah.
Okay, for some reason it's not showing up on the recording screen. Someone's going to refresh that. Go ahead.
I haven't made it around the corner yet, so I couldn't tell you. But
Come over here, Serena. Come over here. I can help you. Be okay.
Well, aside from these poke holes that have been punched in me, I'm all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can stay there. We just kind of fumble through, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds, and so, he's just going to kind of the holes on your arm, and he's gonna have to cover them with his hand and press somewhat hard. And it's like, this is gonna hurt a little bit, but Eric's blessings upon you, and you'll be cured for. The button.
Anticipation is rising.
It's not much, but
Well, it
Thank
is.
you.
you feel a
It
little
is
better.
much. It's much more than you
Feel
think it
better.
is.
Well, it's very encouraging, Trevor. Thank you.
So I dropped a blue card.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Nice.
All right, you spent the healing boon card here, Tavard.
Nice.
So increased healing received by proficiency bonus D6s. So Serena, go ahead and roll 2d6 and increase the healing by that much.
Figured the one up front, right?
There you go. So yes, this spell from Dian is surprisingly potent.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're doing great.
Yeah, get out front now.
Well, keep your eyes peeled, everyone. There seems to be some booby traps. Let's not fall prey to those anymore, or do our best. We know they're here now. It looks like when we can see the ground is not muddied up from traffic, to be wary of where you step. Seems like a good indicator, and we're pretty good at footprints, considering how much we've been in the woods and chased down deer and whatnot.
So I'm gonna step up right next to it, and can I check to see what she did to trigger the trap? If there's like an investigation or survival, get her footprints and see, or I don't know if there was any footprints, and see what triggered it.
You can certainly try it. Now, as a reminder, the pit is currently open. So, like, the
Yep.
plate at the top that opened is not there anymore. But yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check.
And even though it may not help, because I'm not proficient in that, but what I would also say is I will tell them about the tracks, Adam, that I saw and how it stopped there, just in case it helps anybody.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Dian, you don't know. You look here, you don't see anything obvious that triggered this trap.
Okay.
I believe it's probably just, we've done this to catch rabbits before. You just make a collapsible plane with the trap underneath. It's usually from weight.
Serena is going to extend Shipwrecker out in front of her and like tap it on the ground like a blind person's cane.
Sure. Yeah, so you reach over the pit and you tap the square past it. Seems solid. Nothing happens.
All right, then she's going to jump.
Okay, and then you had half on a standing jump, so as long as you have a strength of 10, you can jump that 5 feet, no problem.
Heads up, Adam. This light is like stuck in the wall or something. I can't move it anymore.
No worries, got it out of there for you.
She's going to tap the squares in front of and to the side of her.
Okay, you take a moment to prod both of those squares. They seem solid.
What's it smell like, guys? Is it really bad?
Yes.
That's like what people had for dinner last night.
She's going to tap. She's going to keep tapping as she steps forward.
Okay, you tap the next two squares. Solid, solid. All right, once you get to here, Serena, you notice a flight of stairs to your west that seems to ascend.
Tavern, where are we supposed to be going again? I wasn't really listening.
We don't really know. I think just exploring this area here.
We're probably not up.
Do we stay to the water? Which way you guys want to go?
Said he was trying to climb over something when something got a hold of him, so maybe we'll look for something blocking way. Maybe it was one of these gates or something. But
Just
with
keep
these
on
traps,
going west for now.
I doubt they came this way. I mean, they wouldn't let their young just run around here with these booby traps.
Why are there traps in the sewer? Dean says.
Well, all these rats are down here. These rat folk. Probably.
Are the guards trying to control rat population?
I think the rat population is trying to control the sewers.
Fighting amongst themselves?
Michael
what?
said that they have their own guild. They seem to be an intelligible folk. This is probably where they call home. They secured it. Of course, this could be an enemy population.
Secured it from who? Dean laughs. It's a sewer.
Other rats, right? Well, anytime, think of what we're doing right here, Dean. Right? Why are we in this city right now?
We don't need the conversation. Let's focus on our mission.
We're here infiltrating a human location so we can gain power. That's what people do in civilization.
Let's do it.
Serena's gonna tap on the bridge, see how it's dirty or if it's wrapped.
Seems solid.
Are you going over the bridge?
Yeah, you could have been climbing over this when you got pulled into whatever.
As she says that, another big toad swallows her whole. No, we've seen this before.
Hey, this must have been the thing he climbed.
Look from here, and I heard.
You're kind of breaking up again.
When I'm looking into the water from here, do I see anything? Is there any movement in the water?
Go ahead and give me a blind check on that, Serena. So you notice that the water here is not very deep, so probably only say like 2 feet. It's murky in certain areas, so it's not always clear, but every now and again you can make out like the actual bottom of the sewers. You get the impression that this can accommodate a lot more water than is in here right at the moment, but no, you don't spot any kind of movement.
I'm gonna keep tapping in front of myself.
Okay, yeah, I will assume you're doing that. So as you're moving squares, I'm assuming, again, this is taking more time, of course, but I'm assuming you're prodding each square in front of you.
I'm just trying to make sure I stay in line with where Serena's been going.
I see another bridge pretty far down this way.
We're going up these stairs. Well, we don't want to circle back around, right?
I think if we were trying to go northwest, we go up around this way, right?
I think you're right, Blixel.
What are these odd rooms? Do they seem like they ever had like a purpose?
It's hard to tell, but they are fashioned rooms. Maybe this was built. Maybe this was done for different purposes at different times, but you don't see any objects or tables or anything in them that gives you an idea of what they're used for today. All right, Serena, as you step into this space, you prod the ground. There doesn't seem to be anything there. But as you enter the room, you hear this sickly squelching sound. It sounds oddly reminiscent of what the rat folk at the front made a sound of, as you notice these creatures stuck to the ceiling as they begin to fall down upon you. I would like everybody to go ahead and throw a public perception check. This is going to determine if you are surprised. This is what the creature looks like that are stuck to the ceiling. Okay, Dian and Vin.
Inspiration.
Okay, go ahead and burn your inspiration. We'll take the new inspiration roll.
I'll do that as well, Adam.
Tavard, go ahead and set yourself back to public, but you are also surprised.
Woof.
Vin still surprised. Okay, so Vin and Tavard are surprised. It looks like everybody else succeeded. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and put us into initiative here. Okay, and I'm guessing one of you is stacked on top of the other right now?
I'm just
It's
moving.
probably me.
Oh, it's me and Tavard.
Yep, okay, there we are.
Tavard and I. Of course, I roll great initiative when I'm surprised. This campaign, Adam. Goodness.
Okay, that's interesting. Somehow adding one more initiative summoned up a past battle of initiatives. One moment.
You guys have battled before.
This isn't our first rodeo, Dean.
So, Vin, I have you at an 18. Were you complaining about an 18?
No, just that I was surprised when I got it.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. I was expecting a bad number there.
No. First time I might get to go first in something, but then I'm like, oh.
Okay, so now it should be just you 5 there. Hopefully this works. Okay, and yes, indeed, you would have been first, Vin, but unfortunately, you are surprised. So, from there, we have some drippings from the ceiling. Let me go ahead and turn on some battle music here.
Do these things seem like what that rat person was pantomiming?
The sound they make resembles the sound he made in his frenetic speech.
Okay.
Okay, Serena, the first one is like half slinks, half falls down to this space here. As it does so, it is going to lash out with a fleshy tendril towards you. I will need a defense roll, please. It connects against you, Serena. You will suffer 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled. So this like sticky hand almost looking thing lashes onto you, and it is like stuck to you at this point.
Okay.
All right, that is that one. And another one then drops from the ceiling as well. And it is going to do the same. So another defense roll, Serena.
Inspiration.
Okay, go ahead and burn that. Click your inspiration, and it will re-roll that for you. Okay, that gives you a 15 total defense roll. Unfortunately, these guys are still going to hit you at that number. That's 9 bludgeoning and grappled again. So I'm going to put the grapple condition on you. And then I'm going to put dots red on these guys so we know that it's these two that are currently grappling you. Okay, that is their 2 turns. And then Serena, you are up next.
first I'm gonna rage.
Okay, go ahead and click your rage.
Oh, I finally got a new wild surge. That's nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay, the ground within 15 feet of you is now difficult terrain.
To your enemies.
Yes.
And I'm going to... I already had the shipwrecker in hand, so I'd like to give that a swing.
Sure, and which one would you like to swing at?
The one on the right.
Okay. You slash out with the shipwrecker, but your yeah, no, that's just a miss. Bad roll. I was looking at your weariness, but it's just 0. So yeah, just a whiff.
Dang nabbit. Alright. Cool. I think that's about it.
All right, before Blixel's turn, Serena, you're going to notice as 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these things drop down. Now, probably most disgustingly, as they drop down, rather than attacking you, you see they all start squelching and squeezing together. And as they do, they seem to meld into one much larger creature.
Guys, it's getting gross in here.
So these 4 I'm going to move off map.
With our powers combined, we are mush person.
Now combined in size, you see this terrifying creature.
Oh, this is nasty, man.
Okay. So I hear that noise. I'm going to rush forward. Drawing my second short sword. Or I guess I have a scimitar and a short sword. Is it cover for that guy because of the door frame?
If you're attacking to the northwest, yes.
Sure. I'm going to do that because I don't want him grappling. I'm grappling Serena, so...
Okay. Unfortunately, with the cover, your blade clangs against the wall.
Okay. I am going to use my offhand attack. I'm going to use a hero point on that.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and burn a hero point. With a 13, you will hit.
Oh, really? Oh,
Even with
all right.
cover.
Since I have 2-weapon, or what's the fighting style? 2-weapon fighting. I get to add my ability modifier to this damage.
All right, looks like that's not built in. You can go ahead and build that into your offhand attack, but what is your ability modifier real quick?
It's going to be plus another 3, so 5.
Okay, you pierce into the creature and wound it.
Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, and remind me, who was the other? I think who was the other person that was surprised?
I'm surprised.
Tavern. Okay, so Tavern, your turn is skipped. Is your surprise? Dian.
All right, I'm going to move. I can't move up the stairs. I have to go 5 first, right?
If you want to like sidestep the stair, you could at that low area. That'd be fine.
Okay, so 5. 10. That's 15. 20. Okay. I see an unoccupied space to the south of Serena.
Okay.
So I think this is a good opportunity for this ability. Yeah. So I moved 20. All right. So he's going to do his verb. Actually, he's just going to use his wild shape effect. So he's going to burn a usage of wild shape. And in that unoccupied space, the south of Serena, is going to appear just comes from Dian, and it kind of sneaks its way to a tiny flame that sneaks its way around the corner and manifests to your south, Serena. And it looks like this, if I can drag the token out. Maybe I can't, Adam. Can you put my wildfire spirit to the south?
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
And as the flames leave me and go there, here's what has to happen. Sadly, first, but the benefits are good. All right, so I need a Dex saving throw from, let's see, each creature within 10 feet of the spirit other than me must succeed on a Dex save.
I thought it was 5 feet of the spirit.
5 feet's for the teleport, which is what I'm about to do next. So the damage initially when it appears is 10 feet.
Can you post the text of that?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I don't see that.
Yeah, sorry.
The spirit appears in an unoccupied space. Is second
Nice.
paragraph. Where it says
Okay.
it.
All right, so that will be each creature within 10 feet, and it doesn't say anything about cover, so I'm assuming that means it explodes around corners. So, yeah, Serena and Blixel, go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
She can see this. She
Can
see this.
I use my inspiration?
Yeah, you can.
Nice nat 20. We see it.
So 20, that will succeed, I'm sure. Okay, so succeed on the save or take damage. So if you succeed, no damage. All right, then Dian, please throw me 3 spell effect rolls. I'm going to start from the big one and then do the 2 littles. All right, so the big one is affected by this. Ignore that. The little 2 are not. So throw me 2d6 fire damage for the big guy. All right, so as it appears, he is scorched by that.
Nice.
Okay, and then that's my action. My movement is 20 feet. I have 10 feet left. That was my action. So sorry, new car, guys.
No, it's cool. Fire lion?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a lion. Yeah. All right,
What's
now,
the lion's name from Narnia? I'm trying to think of it.
Aslan.
Aslan. That's what it
Oh my
reminded me of when I
gosh,
saw
yeah.
the image.
Excuse me.
So now
Okay.
remember, the spirit takes its turn immediately after yours. So when you say my turn's over, then you take its turn.
Yep, and I can't wait to do it. So that's my action. I'm gonna move back because I don't need to watch anymore. 5, 10. Yeah, because there's 2 people in that square with Tavard, right?
There are, yep.
And I can't take that corner. I'm not gonna cheat that corner. So yeah, I have to go 10 to here. bonus action, action serve. No, okay. Now, and then that's my movement and action. I'll end my turn, and now I'll use my. Now I get to use the Fire Spirit ability, which is Fiery Teleportation. I'll try to post it, I think. There it is.
All right, now I want to be really clear here on the wording. So each willing creature of your choice within 5 feet of it can. Oh, so the teleport is to a space you can see. Okay, yeah, that's good.
All right, so then I can go for where I can see. So it's 15 feet that I can see, right? So it's a big one, really, right?
Within
Since
5
I
feet
moved.
of it, teleport up to 15 feet. So it can only be a maximum of 15 feet. And to unoccupied spaces you can see. So you have to be able to see the space, and it has to be within 15 feet of the space they're leaving.
Okay, all right. I was wondering about if it's a 15 feet where I can see. Okay, so it's going to just go 15 feet for where it's at that I can see. So I'm going to put him, and if you guys are willing, come for a ride. So the fiery lion, he looks at you and still has like anger, but he'll get bigger, and you feel the flames like touching you, but you don't feel a burn this time, and you're going to teleport to.
So let's do this one at a time. Where would you like the lion to appear?
I'm going to put the lion here and put my friends behind it.
Now we'll say, Serena, do you want to be magically teleported?
Yeah.
Blixel, do you want to be magically teleported?
Sure.
All right, now tell me exactly where they both appear.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Serena at the stairs, and then I'm going to put Blixel around the corner right there.
So at the stairs, you mean here?
Yes, and then I'm gonna put Blixel there where the dancing light is.
Okay, so what I will say, Dean, you notice that as soon as Serena vanishes, the coiled arm that was attached to her kind of just retracts because that automatically breaks grapple.
Nice. I didn't know it did that.
Hard to grapple teleporter.
All right, you guys are now in the crosshairs shape. Hopefully that's not ominous. And I assume that's the end of the spirit's turn, right?
He still has movement, right?
He
Well,
does.
Well, also,
Okay.
all those creatures within 5 feet
Yeah,
that it left take damage unless they do a dex save.
they re-roll again, Adam.
So that was just the big one only. So give me one more spell effect roll. No, he is not affected by that.
All right, and then Fiery Spirit. Where shall he stay? He's gonna move there, and just you see this fiery lion at the doorway, just growling, and that'll be the end of my turn.
All right, now we are to Vin.
Where's my end turn button on this guy?
You won't have one for him because he shares your initiative technically, so he goes right after you. So we won't put him on the initiative order.
So Vin and Tavard were surprised. So I imagine Tavard walked up the steps and stopped, and then Vin was looking over his shoulder and ran into him, and then all of a sudden all of this chaos and then some fiery teleportation and bam, poof, poof, and he looks at Tavard and he kind of rolls into action, and he's going to move into this space here, and with his short bow he's going to pull out an arrow and fire it at the only one he can see, which is that bad boy.
All right, you fire past the lion, past the wall, towards the creature.
I imagine the lion's not more than 3 feet tall, though, right?
It is considered a small elemental, so somewhere around there. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So fire away, short bow. You know what? I'll throw a hero point, so we can see. Maybe we can do some damage.
Just as a reminder, you can choose to spend that after your roll now.
Oh, cool.
Do you still want to spend it?
Yeah.
All right, your arrow crashes into the wall.
Nice. All right. So I'm going to move myself back down because I have learned by now to not be the one in the front anymore. Actually, I'm just going to go here. I got more movement, but I'll get back to the back of the line and I'll kind of slide back to my feet and reach back into my quiver like I'm going to notch another arrow and end my turn.
Okay, so let's see. We are back to this one. It is going to squelch its way down here, and it is going to attack the Wildfire Spirit. So this is where NPC defense rolls come into play. Dean, please go ahead and click on your fiery lion and give me an NPC defense roll.
Okay. Oh, click on the token.
Just when Adam was getting used to saying Bairn.
I know, that's why you see me pausing every time. I gotta take a moment. Okay, yes, he will evade that strike. Then you will hear again more squelching. And that one is going to do the same. Another defense roll from the Fiery Lion. Okay, that time he will get struck. He will take 6 bludgeoning damage, but the Wildfire Spirit is immune to grapple, so the hand won't be able to latch on to anything solid. Deals the damage, but can't grapple. It will then squelch. Serena.
Okay. I can move into my allies' spaces temporarily, right?
You can, yep.
Can I attack from this space?
So if you enter ally space and the ally space is threatened, it's considered squeezing, so you would be attacking at disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Dean thinks, oh, she wants to go back in there.
If I stand here, can I attack this one? But I assume it would still have...
It would be getting cover both from the wall and from the lion. You can, but it's getting a pretty hefty cover bonus. You swing out with Shipwrecker and smash against the wall.
Whoa.
Or click though.
Okay, you hear some more squelching as this large creature, its body transforming as it moves into a very small line of this squeezy flesh and ends up over here. Serena, it has entered your space. You can take a reaction attack against it if you wish. When it enters your reach, it is going to get the cover. That'll still hit. Yeah, go ahead and post damage.
Wait, hold on. I didn't have to read the...
So 2 more on top?
Yeah.
All right, I've deducted 8 from the creature. All right, you notice this creature, it doesn't really have what you would consider feet or arms or really any distinguishable body parts. It's kind of like a mass of flesh. So you can think of half of it leaning up against the wall now, half of it on the ground, but its arms still lash out. And with reach here, it actually has multiple targets to go for, so... The first one goes for the Fiery Spirit, and the next one goes for Tavard. So Fiery Spirit, defense roll, and Tavard, defense roll. Okay, so the Fiery Spirit is able to evade this strike. Tavard, you are struck. As this massive fleshy tendril slams into you, you will take 15, cut down to 7 bludgeoning for your dwarfiness. However, you are grappled. Alrighty, and then we move to Blixel's turn.
Okay. I can move into where the light is, right?
Yeah, I don't see any other tokens there.
Alright, so Blixel's going to charge up and start swinging at the tendril that is grappling Tavard.
Okay. Go ahead and set yourself back to public.
Oh,
yes, that will hit.
I'm going to use a defensive flourish on this.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it on my sheet.
Okay, so your AC is increased by 5 until the start of your next turn.
And then it'll do 13 points slashing damage.
Okay, your blade slices into this mound of flesh.
And then I will offhand attack.
Yes, that will also hit.
Oh, okay. So just add 3 to that. So sorry, I haven't built it in yet. I'll adjust it right now, but it should be 8.
Worries. Yep, I took 8 off of him. As you pierce into this creature a second time, you hear sounds in your head. You can't say for sure, but you feel like it's coming from the creature, and it says, "Consume, consume."
That's not a real ideology, man. All right, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Tavar, you are currently grappled, so your speed is 0.
Yeah, so I can't say anything else. I'm just grappled. Shoot, I don't necessarily mind being grappled right now. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I will just go ahead and throw a dart because I know that our team loves darts.
Okay.
Vin instinctively shudders behind you.
Yeah, I just can't reach him otherwise, so...
Yes, your dart punctures into the squelchy flesh, wounding it.
Alright, and then I'm just going to go ahead and... Hey, Blobber! You're about to die!
All right, Dean.
Okay, so I'm going to so Dean is planning his thing. I'm reading. Okay, so Dean's now with his hand free still. He's swirls his hand in the air, and a fiery whip actually starts to form in his hand, and he's gonna thorn whip this guy.
That will miss as your thorn whip smashes against the wall.
Okay, then he's gonna go 5, 10 to there at the stairs.
As you step away from the large creature with reach, its other tendril smashes out towards you. Defense rolls, please, Dean. Oof, that is going to hit. You burn a hero point to make it a 17. I got to double check. That still hits.
forgot he had reach.
Dean, you are smashed for 12 points of damage, and you are grappled.
I was driving a new car. I was driving a new car and reading all this stuff I have, and forgot he had reach. Okay. So a spell tried to move. That's fine. I will end my turn. Then,
It's going to consume you guys.
I'm going to have to save our grapple, but then you got to do a dex save. Hold on, that fucked everything up. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll just try to do damage here. I'm gonna move. The fiery spirit's gonna move up here. So it's the end of my turn.
As the fiery spirit moves away from the creature within reach, it is going to attack the fiery spirit. Defense roll, please, from the fiery spirit.
He can get hit all day.
It is going to strike him for 15 points of bludgeoning. Can't be grappled.
And I already used my reaction, right?
I believe you did when the big one moved through, yes.
Alright, then he's going to... The fiery spirit's going to teleport to there for his action.
Okay, so you had him to the top northwest. Okay, spirit in each creature of your choice. So it doesn't teleport anyone, right? It's just appearing there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just trying to deal damage to the big guy, basically.
Yeah, basically, yep.
Okay, yeah, sure. So spell effect roll. And just FYI, I'm always taking the number on the bottom because that top number can't calculate your point proficiency bonus. 11 against Dex. No, unfortunately, that does not affect him.
Okay. It's the end of my turn.
Okay, Vin's turn.
All right. Just some clerical questions, Adam. I just because I know how Roll20 is, I can see over this staircase and I can see a sliver of this token. Does that mean that this staircase is maybe like a 3 or 5 foot staircase that I'd be able to see over?
Yep, yeah, it's closer to like 4 or 5 feet-ish.
So if I moved here, I could actually see him like I see him on screen?
You can, but obviously keep in mind he's getting significant cover if you're trying to shoot through all your allies.
Yeah, I mean, I can't run up in there, and I'm seeing these fleshy tendrils whacking everybody, so I'm gonna move back here and I'm gonna just take a shot, I suppose.
At the big one, okay, sure.
Goodness.
No, unfortunately, trying to make sure you don't hit your allies, your arrow hits the ceiling.
That's it for me.
Okay, little one is going to move underneath the fiery spirit and then move to here. So Serena already used her reaction. Blixel, I don't think you did. Would you like to take an opportunity attack?
Sure.
That will miss. Nope. All right, as the creature gets to there, it is going to attack the fiery spirit. The wildfire spirit. Defense roll there, please. This is going to hit the wildfire spirit for 14 bludgeoning damage, and the fiery spirit vanishes in a puff of smoke, maybe? I don't know, Dean, what does it look like?
Yeah, no, it did its job. It took attacks and kind of just dissipates into mist and falls on the floor in a mist.
All right, that one is gone. This one will then squeeze on into the space. It's going to strike at Blixel. Blixel, defense roll, please.
Yes. I have +5 to this because of the defensive flourish.
Okay, so as you are prepared, I should say, for defense, you managed to avoid this strike at the last moment. Serena.
All right. Selena's gonna recklessly attack. can't see the health bar of the large one. How hurt does it look?
Yeah, let me put it here for a second.
It's a tube of meat.
Does that give you a better idea?
Yeah, she's gonna swing at the big one.
Okay.
Is there anything special I should be doing for reckless attacks, or just say recklessly attack?
Nope, you just declare reckless, and then I know you're attacking at advantage, and all attacks against you are at advantage until your next turn. Yes, that will hit. -7 total damage. Okay. Yes, it is wounded. Man, that's some bad rolls there, Serena.
All night.
Yeah. Alrighty. Just want to make sure there's not something else I should be doing.
Can she Pam with the shipwrecker weird weapon?
Yeah, she can Pam.
Is it going to put extra strain on the knot?
Yeah, I mean, every attack, I will say, has a chance for breaking it, if that helps.
Does Pam have to be on the exact same enemy?
I don't believe so, no.
No.
Well, I'll keep wailing on the big one.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit as well. Wounding it again.
Alrighty. That'll do.
All right, so in the essence of putting dice rolls, big dice rolls in players' hands, Tavern and Dian, please both roll a d20, whoever gets lower.
Oh no.
Man, he's got some kind of consume ability.
Consume, bro.
I can always beat that 6.
Oh my
Tavern,
god.
No way you
your
both
head.
rolled under a 10.
Tavern, your head is flooded with the word consume. Consume! Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, Adam, guess what? I've decided I'm going to pass this one.
I am so glad you did. Because I was about to say, would anybody like to do inspiration on this? All right, so burn your legendary resistance.
I was waiting to see what my roll was. I knew if I was going to fail, I would just use legendary.
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry to build you up like this. I feel like legendary resistance specifically says spell for dwarf, doesn't it?
Oh, it says magic resistance.
Go ahead and post the text for that. Magical spell or effect. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure this is a magical effect, but in this case, I'm going to let you use it. So, all right.
Nice.
You will take half damage, 13 psychic damage. What I will tell you, Tavern, just to kind of shed a little light behind the screen here, you feel like as this was hitting you, your body started to transform, but you managed to fight it off.
Oh, man.
All right. After that, as a bonus action, you will see the little one next to the big one gets absorbed into the big one.
Oh.
Nice.
How many psychic damage did I? Oh, it's half? Okay.
Yes, 13. Yep.
So if he had gone to 0 when that happened, bad things probably would have happened.
That's a great way of putting that, Blixel.
All right, Blixel takes a deep breath and then keeps stabbing on the big guy.
Yes, that will hit. Slashing into him a bit.
Okay. Short sword.
That'll also hit.
I'm gonna use another flourish, another defensive flourish on this.
Okay. Okay, +1 AC.
All right. Yeah, so it's for I built it in now though, so it should be 8 total.
Yep, gotcha. He is wounded again.
And Buxel says, "Don't get consumed by this thing. It's bad." That's the end of his turn.
Okay, we move to Tavard.
All right, guess who's deciding maybe I should try to see if I can break away from this thing.
Good choice.
All right. So I'll go ahead and give you an acrobatics. I'm sure that's going to be better than my athletics.
Sure, yep, you can make that public. You
I
are
would like
not
to go
able to
ahead.
break free.
Can I use a hero point
You
on that?
sure can, yeah. You are able to break free, Tavard.
Second actions there, you know. All right, so that'll be my action, unfortunately, but you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just move here and breathe.
Okay, Dean.
Hey, a question for you, Adam. So the gross guy moved through my fiery element space. Is it because I was an elemental, or is it because of its ability?
Its ability.
Okay, so normally we can't move through an elemental space freely. Okay,
Correct, yep.
so that means I can't move. If I pop him in that corner, and then he can't move through Serena because they're engaged.
So your elemental can fly, remember? So he could technically just fly over people's heads.
Yeah, this is a cool car I got.
Yeah, the wildfire spirit is pretty cool. I played one in
Okay,
Strahd.
I'm going to, then I'm bound, so that's fine. I'm grappled. My action is going to be to summon him again. So I'm going to burn another wildfire shape. He's going to go into this corner, Adam. Yep. And then I'm going to do like a little whistle to get his attention.
All right, so hang on now. When he first appears, there's a fiery effect, right?
Yes, right. Those two guys get it.
I feel like that one was within 10 feet, though, right? Go ahead and post that one again.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well,
Me and Serena are gonna get it, but
I mean, I'm trying to get us. I don't know why we need to fight these guys, so I'm trying to get us out of there.
this is something where danger sense would hit, though, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
This is probably what got Skiderick. That was his name, right?
All right, I'm gonna pop in. I'm gonna give you guys a dex save. So yeah, I'm gonna put him there. So 10 feet dex save, guys. All right.
All right, that's a success, I'm sure. Serena save as well at advantage. Yes, that's a success as well. 2 spell effects. I'll go left to right.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
First one will, second one will not. Go ahead and throw me 2d6. Okay, little one is scorched by that.
All right, and then that's Dean's action to draw that. His movement, he can't go anywhere. He's got no bonus action necessarily, so he's going to end his turn. Then we'll go to the fiery spirit, who's going to incur opportunity attacks, but hopefully he can. Oh wait, there's no reactions up. So he's going to fly 5, 10, 15 to there, Adam.
He will take 1 opportunity attack from the little one. It was the other little one that burnt its already.
Our rolls are terrible.
Okay, yes, that will indeed hit. 9 bludgeoning, no grapple.
And I'm just changing the green.
Yes, green bubble on the spirit, yep.
All right. Now, spirit is going to do their fiery teleportation now. And I'm grabbing I'm trying to grab all three of us. Oh, who's south of me?
Tavard.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see again. I just want to read this text real quick. Yeah, it doesn't say you have to see him, so sure. Yeah. Okay, so would you like to take all 4 of you?
Yes.
Okay, and so if anybody doesn't want to teleport, speak up now. Okay, perfect. So Dian, you move you move the spirit where it goes, and then tell everybody where you're putting them.
Can I see through his eyes, or I can't? Right.
You cannot.
All right. I'm gonna move him there.
Okay.
And we will put Serena there. We're gonna put has to be within 5 feet of it, right? Then yeah, it teleports. Man, this is getting slow, huh? Okay, so Blixel there. Oh, I see. It's occupied. Okay. Tavard there, and I'll go there. I don't know. We'll see. We're
So
still
that-
playing with it.
So that unfortunately is 20 feet. So remember, you can only move 15 feet. So you'll have to move Dian back somewhere within 15 feet of this space.
Oh, okay. That I can see.
Yeah, and just not within 5 feet of where it's coming from.
Can I get on that bridge?
I would say so. Yeah, that's 15
Yeah.
feet.
Boom. Okay. There you go, guys.
All right, so that breaks your grapple automatically. So let me remove that. All right, and we are on
Nice.
Vin's turn. All right, quick
Nice.
check, guys. We're at the top of the initiative order. I know we're right at the end of our session. Do you guys want to go through another round? Has everybody got time for that, or do you guys want to hang it up here?
So let's kill it.
I can do another round.
So your time.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
available. I don't have a life.
All right. Let's do one more round then, guys. Vin, take it away.
Okie dokie. Vin can now see his friends are not in the way, so he's going to move to this spot, and then to this spot,
Oh.
and then he's going to hang on. He's going to kind of close one eye and like track that little one skittering on the ground after seeing it absorbed into the fat one, and he's gonna take a shot and see if he can pin it to the earth or stone rather.
All right, so shooting at the little one.
Sorry, I reset my character sheet because I was sucking. So now I gotta go.
All right.
All right, short bow it is.
Yes, that will hit.
All right.
Wounding the little one.
Perfect, and then I'm going to disengage with my cunning action and move the remaining 15 feet back to where I was originally.
Okay. Okay, the little one, noticing that the ground is currently difficult terrain, is going to latch onto the wall and spider climb over to here. Serena, you can take a reaction to attack it if you wish. It'll get cover since it's up above you.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yes, that will hit.
Nice.
Slamming
Nice.
it hard.
There we go.
And from there, it is going to lash out at
Very
Serena. Defense roll Serena, please. You managed to evade that attack, Serena, and then it is your turn.
Well, vision is a little bit obscure, but that's the only one I could read, right?
That's the only one that you... Yeah, that's the only one that you can see. He's basically at the edge, like hanging down, trying to slam down at you guys.
Attack him?
You're kind of breaking up again there, Cerilia.
Reckless attack.
Reckless attack, okay. Yes, that will certainly hit. And the creature is turned into frozen paste.
Woohoo!
Yay for paste.
Nice.
No more healing potions for the big guy.
Are we continuing to fight or should I run?
We're gonna kill this thing.
Yeah, we're not running from it. Take it down. Well, don't die. Think carefully.
She's halfway through running.
Well, I guess if that's the only... Okay. Is a little to get close, so
Sounds like your connection might be spotty. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any actions there. You're good, end turn? Okay, I think that's good. All right, the big one, you will see its fleshy tendrils lash out at the ceiling, allowing it to spider climb over to here. It is essentially hanging up in the corner is the way you can think of this. And from here, it is going to lash down at... one at Blixel and one at Tavard.
my action reset at the top of the round or after my turn?
Your reaction starts at the beginning of your turn.
So I can use reaction here.
You can, yep. Tavard, you are able to evade that attack.
Should I wait till you guys roll or go now?
Blixel,
It's +1. I don't know if that'll help, but +1.
you are struck by that. All right, as that slams into Blixel, you will take 17 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled. You fail concentration, and all of your dancing lights wink out. I know there's one more around here somewhere.
Probably under someone.
Ah,
Nothing
there it
to
is.
me.
Got it, got it. All right, Cerilia, you slash out at the creature and miss. Okay, so it did its 2 attacks. Tavard dodged it. It did hit Blixel, who is now grappled. Blixel, in your head, you will once again hear, consume. Blixel, your turn.
Blixel's like, I don't buy it. Ah! Am I able to attack him because he has me grappled with his tendrils?
You can certainly attack the tendril, yep.
Okay, so that's what Blixel will do.
That will connect. Wounding the creature.
Yep, and just keep swinging.
That'll hit as well.
I'm gonna flourish it again.
And that was a defensive flourish?
Yeah, I think that's the only one that makes sense for me right here. So yeah, defensive flourish.
Okay, your AC goes up by 6, and I've added that damage to the creature.
Okay, I go, get this thing off of me. It's gonna kill me. That's it.
Tavard.
Hey, Adam. I'm assuming the only thing I could probably hit is the tentacle that's attached around my bardic friend there.
Yes, unless you're willing to move. Yep.
Well, I'll be moving, but I wasn't sure how high up he is.
He is basically, if you can be within 5 feet of him, but not on the ground level, you can reach him.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a bonus action first. No surprise what I'm doing. I'm patient defense there.
Okay.
And am I able to move through the elemental guy at all?
You can, but he is considered engaged, so it is difficult terrain.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and go here. I'm going to take my swing with my my Grampy's favorite Warhammer.
Okay, so you're swinging over at the tendril that's connecting to Blixel. That will hit. Smashing into him.
And then I'm going to difficult terrain it. I'm going to come over here. And I can't really see if I theater of the mind here, Adam. If I go here, is that anything?
What do you mean by is that anything?
Well, he may still get a reaction on me, maybe. I'm wondering because I don't know if that's in or out or whatever.
You would have to leave his reach for him to get an opportunity attack if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, and I just don't know if that's what I'm getting at. Is that out of his reach?
I don't know. What is his reach?
Well, I understand his reach is 10, but
so if he has a 10 reach, you'd still be within his reach there.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because of the corner.
Yep, yeah, no worries.
All right, so I'll go ahead and end my turn there.
Okay, Dean.
All right. So Dean's grabbing some more magic from the air and is going to fire 3 rays of fire bolts at him.
First one hits.
These in the...
Second one hits. Third one critically hits.
Yes.
Nice.
Save me, please.
I'll try it. Here we go.
Let the new guy be a hero.
All right, so that's a real crit. So we got 9 on the first one, 19 on the crit, and then 6. So we got a total of 25 fire damage there. And the creature is burning, yes.
Fire changes everything. And he'll take a step back to here.
Okay, as you take a step back, Ian, leaving the reach of the creature, give me a defense roll, please.
No, I was here.
15-foot reach, bro.
Are you sure that's where you were, Dean?
Yeah.
For some reason. Okay, no worries. I thought you were just.
Oh yeah, he was definitely there.
Okay.
No, he was there.
Yeah, you're good.
I planned that. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I moved there. So that was my action. Is Scorching Ray, movement. I'm going to end my turn, and then my Fiery Spirit is going to do the weakest thing he can, which is Flame.
Surprisingly, that will hit.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Still.
He's supposed to take attacks. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, Vin. And I will just throw this out here, guys. No, I'm not blaming Dean or anything, but I thought for sure he was teleporting Blixel out of that hold. But just be aware, if it gets back to Blixel's turn, it could be really, really bad. Vin, your turn.
Yeah. Well, I can't. Yeah, Dean moving back like that took away the only light I had to see after Dancing Lights went down. So I'm just going to grab Blixel, and see if I can maybe jump us both this way. Like if the force of us jumping will break the hold or something along those lines.
Oh, thanks for that reminder, because Dean should not be protruding light right now, so I'm going to turn that off.
Okay, perfect. I can't see it all right now, but I know Blixel is right beside me. So I'm just going to grab him and see if I can dive off that little edge and get out of view.
Okay, so I'm going to treat this as you're trying to break the grapple of the creature on Blixel. So you're going over the edge regardless, but if you don't break the grapple, you'd go over, Blixel does not. So give me an athletics check as you try to break Blixel free.
Okay, I'll do that, but I also want to clarify, Adam, that I'm disengaging with my cunning action, so he can't smack at me as I'm trying to do this as well.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And let me think creatively real quick if I can get this somehow switched to acrobatics. I got nothing. Here we go, Blixel. Maybe my really crappy athletics can save you. Is this public athletics or blind check?
Yeah, you can make it public. So you grab onto Blixel and you yank him, and no, he does not come with you. You fall over the edge, slamming into the sewer water. No damage, but oh, this is filthy.
Best I got. It's dark. I can't see shit. My buddy was all wrapped up.
You can't see shit, but you're pretty sure it's there.
I smell it for sure.
All right, Serena, your turn.
Okay.
Help me!
Anybody have
Help
cards
me!
we can use?
Consume!
Any cards? Check cards.
Consume!
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an idea.
Would grappling be like athletics
Yes.
thing if I wanted to try to rip him away?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have two options there, Serena. You can make an athletics check to basically grab the tendril and just try to break it free from Blixel, and then he would stay where he's at, and he's no longer grappled. Or you can basically grapple him and try to pull him out of the reach of the tentacle. And if you do, again, athletics, either one's athletics, but then you'd be pulling him back with you.
I'd like to pull him back with me.
Okay, so you take a hand off of Shipwrecker, you reach out, you grab onto him, and you try to yank him backwards. Give me an athletics check, please.
And you get advantage, right? As a rage style.
That sounds right.
Do I say now that I want to use a hero point?
No, you can say after.
Well, after you tell me if it succeeded or not?
Yes,
or no?
yep. So if you post and I say you fail, then you can say, I want to use a hero point.
Oh,
Yeah,
she did post.
Oh, I'm not seeing anything. Let me do a quick refresh.
15.
So a 15 will fail.
I'll try some heroes. How about
A 17, unfortunately, will still fail.
Damn.
Can you only use one per turn?
Yes, unfortunately, only one.
Okay.
Now, if you had inspiration, you could use inspiration to reroll.
No, I'm out.
How many experience points is Blixel worth? I mean, we need to really fully understand the concept here.
Well, let's see if this effect hits him first. Then I can tell you.
Yeah.
Well,
I could pass, possibly.
I wish there was something else I could do.
If you can bonus action heal me in any way, that might save my life. I think I'm on the cusp.
Is it a bonus action to... I don't even have a health potion. Is it a bonus action to take your own health potion?
It is
for him?
not, no.
Yeah.
Just kiss me goodbye, Serena.
Well,
Kill-
I'm holding on tight to him in case he gets backwards, I guess. He's double grappled.
Okay.
Adam, does can you explain to me how the flesh tendril was grappling him? Is it like reached out across the staircase in between those two pillars and like stuck to him?
It is, yes.
I got a crazy idea, guys, but it's like the only thing I can think of that might save him before we do this. So I'm just gonna ask you before, yay or nay to crazy right now.
I think I
Before
know
you
what you're going for. I like it.
before you do anything, though, I'm gonna play a card.
Okay, my thing is a card too.
You know how
So
to do
depending
old
on
free
what
card?
you do, we'll see. Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
Y'all
Okay.
regain 1 hero point.
Does anybody want to sing the song this card's based on real quick? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
There goes.
There you go.
our
All right. Somebody
hero.
got it. Somebody got it.
I got you.
All right.
Watch them
So
as they go.
everybody gets
All
a
right,
hero point back.
I'm gonna play my card. Adam, your encouragement was all enough that I needed. So, my card is that didn't sound good, and the pillars that are in between over the staircase, the tension, or maybe it was the sewage has finally built up and they're just weak from over the time, and erosion finally catches up. But as we're all pulling against Blixel and the monster is pulling back, that monster maybe sticks one of his tendrils against the pillar for support, and as it does, it crumbles. And I'm going to collapse one of the pillars and see if maybe I can collapse it onto that tendril and break the grapple.
I like it. Which pillar are you picking?
I'm going to pick the one that I remember seeing before I dove over the edge, which is the one on the left side. I believe it's closer to the monster, so I might be able to cut it off at a source.
It is indeed. All right, so somehow that weight, whatever it is, that pillar actually cracks and falls down on the tendril. So what I'm going to say here is, Vin, go ahead and roll me 4d6. This is how much damage the creature is going to take. If you roll at least 10 damage, that's going to break the grapple on Blixel.
All right, well, I'm going to roll half first, and then we can get a little suspense. Oh, okay, I got it. We're good, we're good.
Yes!
Woo!
Avanale is on my side.
Damage. That column smashes into the creature badly. All right, creature's turn. As it's reaching its tentacle back, or its tendril back, as it just suffered some bad damage, it is going to smash out twice more. And it is actually going to climb. It's actually, believe it or not, an intelligent creature. Oh, it stays within 10 feet of Serena the whole time, so no movement issues. It avoids getting an opportunity attack from Tavard because it stays behind the wall. All right, it's going to get to here, and it is connected to the wall. It is then going to attack. The Flame Spirit first, and then it is going to attack Vin down in the smelly sewer water. Flame Spirit dodges. Vin, this will be at disadvantage as you are currently unable to see the creature.
But, like, how deep down am I? Like, you know, is it far enough away to be out of his reach? Oh,
Probably 10-ish feet.
Oh,
you are hit for 16 points of damage and grappled, and your mind fills with sounds of consume. Blixel.
Consume this, you son of a bitch!
Oh, I forgot something very important. Dian, you had a critical effect earlier. I think you get to roll 2d4.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Good
he's
job.
on fire. Yep. Burn, bitch.
It does indeed. All right, Blixel.
Blixel jumps up, slashes the scimitar, and I'm going to attack with the short sword.
Misses
and
again.
use a hero point on the short sword.
All right. That'll hit.
Nice.
Piercing the fleshy mess.
Oh, it's not dead. Dang. So this stands there awkwardly. And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Tavard.
All right, I'm going to use the key.
It's almost dead.
Patient defense, I assume?
Oh, hell yeah, because it also gives me advantage on attack swings. So
okay,
I'm going to get within range here and see what happens. Grandpappy, fill my hammer with your wrath.
That will connect. Can this do it? You wallop the creature solidly in center mass, and it squiggles around a bit and falls to the ground dead and still burning. Alrighty, folks. Woo! Deep breath. That one is done. All right, guys.
Wow.
We are a little bit over time. You have survived a couple of very close, dangerous calls there. What in the world kind of creatures are in the sewers of Carolinian? Who knows? But we will find out next week and more. Hope everybody enjoyed this session. We will see everybody again next week. Quick FYI, guys. 2 weeks from now, we won't have a session. I'll actually be on vacation, so I just wanted to give that quick heads up. So we'll meet next week, but the following week, we will have an off week. So just be prepared for that. And yeah, everybody have a great night. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, everybody.
Folks.
Good job, guys.
Glad
See
everybody.
ya.
Good game, guys.
See ya.